Hello and welcome to One Stop Co-op Shop Streamed, your one stop for co-op news and playthroughs. And today we're playing through Adventure Tactics. I love this one. This is one that came out last year. We did a review of it on the podcast and now I'm playing it live. Hi everybody. If you'll notice, this is new for me. I have never streamed anything that wasn't on Tabletop Simulator before today. So I apologize, first of all, for any technical difficulties we have, any other things. I was actually planning on playing on TTS, but the mod wasn't where I wanted it to be, so I wanted to show you the best experience, and I think that's the live experience. So if you have any suggestions, I'll tell you how bad it is as I adjust the camera now. I had the camera upside down until about 2 minutes ago. So I'm going to try to do my best to fit everything in, but again, I'm doing my best. We have a couple people in the chat already. Hello, Verga Diablo, and hello, Juno. Great seeing you all. I'm glad you're here. And anybody who wants to chat in, any questions, comments, any thoughts on this game yourself, I'm super excited for the Kickstarter. There's a lot of things about this game that I love, and I am going to play with a couple of the Kickstarter rules. One of them is how the enemies come out, and that's an optional rule. Normally, it's going to be completely random. You have your heroes here, and you would just shuffle them with the enemies and deal them out. But the way I'm going to do it is round one and all the odd rounds. You have hero, enemy, hero, enemy, hero. And then in the second and every even round, you're going to have enemy, two heroes, enemy, hero. So that's going to be the changes from the base game as far as how you activate. And so I guess I should explain what this is. This is a thematic I would say boss battler, although you'll see the two missions today, there are minions as well, and it's objective based as well. So there's other stuff going on. It's not just a boss battler, but I would say that's one of the key features of it. The other key feature is all of these classes play completely differently. So for example, today I am going to be playing with Roberta the Fighter, and if you'll notice, and again, I know I'm not going to get this zoom right, so I apologize if it's not clear, especially with the light on it. But bottom line is you have a couple things for your class. The first thing it tells you is your hit points. And if you see here, it says 7. Then it tells you your class feature, which is Shake It Off, which is this card right here. Shake It Off is a class feature. So you start with one of these and play each game. And it basically acts as if it's part of your hand. You also get a passive skill. So I have Tough, which gives me +3 maximum hit points for the fighter. And this is all things for any starting fighter. This is what they start with. You're going to get a deck of 6 cards, 11 cards. 6 of them are going to be preset for every character. You have 3 basic attacks, 3 basic move cards, and then each class, again, has their own stuff. So the fighter gets 2 rock tosses, 2 charges, and a basic attack. So the reason I'm going through all this is I think this is the coolest part of the game. I'm not only going to show you this, but I'm going to show you leveling up and then playing with those leveled up characters as well. So we have a fighter, we have a cleric. Again, their special abilities over here I will talk to you about. At the end of your turn, you may move to an adjacent hero 1 square. So if you're paired up with somebody, you can move them with guidance. And target heals at a white dice +1. So if somebody gets damaged, cleric can obviously heal them. They also have some 3 healing prayer cards in here, as well as Divine Flames, which is an attack skill, and a basic move card in addition to their normal 6. And I got a wizard. And their class feature is Arcane Shield. When you're damaged, you can reduce that damage by a white dice +1. So that's, again, this acts just as if it's in your hand. And if you notice this blue shield icon here, that blue shield basically says that I can play that on the enemy's turn. You'll notice Shake It Off, which is my fighter's ability, has that blue shield down here. And it says X, which basically means discard it for the rest of this mission. You don't get it back, but it's not gone forever. It lets you heal a red as a yellow action also, which is something else different, which is a free action. But I'll explain it to you. Basically, every hero is going to get 2 action. The enemy is going to flip over an AI card, and it's going to tell you what the enemy is going to do. So every different boss you're fighting against has a different set of AI cards. If your heroes are knocked out, that's okay. You do have 2 revive potions, plus you can get healed by other characters. So that's, you're not knocked out of the game. There can be some player elimination, because if you're out of both healing potions and you get knocked out, then the game's over and the players lose. So you don't have to use the revive potion, though, to revive your character. You can use healing abilities or whatever else. Hopefully we don't deal with that in mission 1. But I'm just going to get started, and every character is going to get dealt 4 cards from that custom deck. On the first turn, you may also choose to mulligan. So the fighter has a charge, which makes a basic move with +1 movement in one direction. So basic move on this character, so I can explain a little bit about it. So basic move is here. It's 4. You have a range of 1, meaning you can only attack adjacent. Sorry if there's some light issues. So move of 4, range of 1, and you're going to roll a red dice for your basic attacks. Other attacks will tell you how they are resolved. For example, a rock toss uses a white dice at range 1 to 4, and it can push right in the light. Again, this is my first time doing a stream this way, not on TTS. So it rolls a white dice at range 1 to 4 and can push a target 1 square backward. So I have 2 of those rock tosses. I got a charge, which lets me move up to 5 spaces, but only in a single direction. And I got a basic move. You can also at any time, that's my starting hand for my fighter. Let's see what I get for my cleric. At any point, you can use any card to move at half your speed. And whenever you do anything half in this game, you always round down. So I could end up moving for 2 by discarding any card as well. Alrighty. So my cleric over here got 2 basic moves, a basic attack, and a healing prayer. That's actually a pretty good start for my cleric, so I'm going to keep that. And by the way, you don't need these level 1 fighter cards in this level 1 cleric card or this level 1 wizard card, but as you can see, pretty good starting hand. And I love the art in this game. I don't know about you guys, but I do like the anime art. Alrighty, so let's see how my wizard does. Alrighty, and the wizard's starting hand, 2 moves, a fireball, which has this little symbol here, which is an area of effect symbol. So it's not only going to hit that enemy, but it's going to hit all enemies within 1 space as well. So we are all set up and ready to go. But actually, if you know me in this game, I love the theme stuff. So I'm not the strongest reader, but that's okay. I'm gonna try anyway. If one of you is better at reading than me, then I should hire a reader to come in and do professional voices and stuff. Now they do have a background story, but they also have the Child of Destiny, which is Act 1. I'm just gonna read a little bit about this, and every character has their own flavor text here, but I'm gonna just read Roberta because they're all basically just what's going on when this town gets attacked. So I'm going to read Roberta. Trying to move my mic closer so I can stand up, show you guys the text as best I can. But Roberta, you are patrolling the village when you see Ert, the village smith, running towards you and gasping for breath. Goblins, he gasps as he collapses in your arms. You hear the unmistakable beat of the goblin war drums coming from the gate. But there are also seem to be some sort of panic stirring on the far side of the village. Someone sounded the alarm. A 2-pronged attack. Alright, so we have 2 options here. So option 1 is we could go guard the gate, and then we go to mission 1 on page 5, which is right over here. Or we can investigate the alarm and protect the villagers. Go to 2 on page 7. And that's what I've set up here. So we're going to go to page 7. And this tells us how to set up. It's going to give setup. Sorry. Again, the lighting in here is not perfect for this, but it's going to give setup for different player counts. It says you arrived just in time. The goblins have tied up several villagers and are threatening them with bodily harm. In the center of the chaos stands a bulky hobgoblin waving around a harpoon. He appears to be questioning the villagers about the local orphanage. So, they're looking for kids, apparently. So objective, defeat Prawl, who is going to be this hobgoblin over here. Bonus objective, rescue at least 4 villagers. So these are the villager tokens over here. And normally these would be standees, and I'd have them standing up, but I laid them down just so it'd be easier to see everything. Obviously, if he was standing up, it'd be clear what space he's in, but he's clearly in the space that he's mostly covering. And it tells you a little bit about the enemies too. It tells you activate our abilities, harpoon, call in reinforcements, and behavior. So call in reinforcements, harpoon, I'll read when we get to a card that says he harpoons you, but call reinforcements says spawn up to 2 new goblin minions at the end of each round. No more than 6 goblin minions can be on the board at once. Well, we start with 3, so we're certainly going to spawn 2 after the first round. And then behavior, targets the closest hero, does not target the villagers. And then we can look over here at the goblin minions. Oh, by the way, we're playing a 3-player game, so he has 18 life. I know you probably can't see this. He rolls a white dice, attacks at range 3 and moves 1 space. So very slow, but attacks a little bit decent distance away. So the goblin minion's behavior targets the closest villager. If there are no villagers remaining, targets the closest hero. So they each only have 2 life. They move 3 spaces. They can attack 1 away, and they attack with a white dice. And our villagers over here, they're explained down here. They have 2 life. Villagers are considered rescued if a hero ends their turn adjacent to it. Remove the rescued villager from the board. Heroes may only rescue 1 villager per turn. So you can't be next to 2 of them. I don't know how you would be anyway, but that's just to be clear. All right, so how do we play the mission? So our goal is to kill the boss here and rescue 4 of the 5 villagers if we can for the bonus objective, which just gives you more rewards. All right, so let's shuffle ourselves up. Again, I'm using the alternative method from the new Kickstarter. So our warrior is going to go first, followed by our cleric, followed by our mage with some enemy activations in between. All right, so let's start with our warrior. And again, if you have any questions or any comments, please let me know. Juno says, have to go soon. Good luck. All right, well, Juno, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it. And let's see what our warrior is going to do. So our warrior is going to make a basic move. That basic move for the warrior, again, is 4 spaces, but he's only going to move 3 over here just to be adjacent to that villager at the end of the turn. So we discard that, and that is as easy as an action is. You get 2 actions on a turn. If you have a yellow action like my heal, that is a free action. You can do it as a 3rd action, or even 4 or 5 of them if you have them. So I'm going to do a rock toss. So when you move, you can only move orthogonally, but when you attack, you can attack diagonally. So 1, 2, 3, 4. In fact, I can't do a rock toss, so I'm just going to end at 1 activation, and that's going to be it. I'm going to save my second one. I just want to rescue that villager, and certainly we did. So I'm going to put the rescued villagers right over here by our cleric, because she seems like a healy, savey kind of person. All right, so let's go to this first enemy activation. For that, we reveal it, and it says Gang Tactics. Palm moves and uses Harpoon. So we check to see who he's closest to getting in range of. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he's clearly going to move this way. He's going to attempt to use his harpoon. Now his harpoon, remember I said we'd get to it when we get to it. It's a white dice. It is range 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, we are within range of that harpoon. And it says we attack with a white dice, so let's go ahead and do that. So the white dice and number of hits on here is just how much damage you take. Easy as that. So our warrior is going to take 1 damage, so going from 10 to 9 life. And then, if we read the rest of what a harpoon does, target is moved to the closest square adjacent to Prawl. So these are all adjacent. I assume they only mean orthogonally, although it's not really covered in the rules. I assume that's what that meant. Now, I think we can move them wherever we want because they're all the closest space adjacent. But I think I'm going to do it closest to where he moved us from because there is some gang tactics going on. I believe I could have moved here, which would have let me avoid the gang tactics, but I'm not going to do that. If a goblin minion can reach a hero adjacent to Prawl, it moves adjacent to that hero and makes a basic attack. And actually, I think even if we had moved here, 1, 2, 3, see, again, there's that adjacent term, so maybe it wouldn't be able to reach. But I'm just going to move over here because that is the closest space that it would have been. Again, one of my favorite games. I love this game, but that is one of my complaints is the rules are very ambiguous a lot of times. And if you don't like that, you may not like it in this game. I typically hate that. It's actually one of my least favorite things in games. But in this one, I love the gameplay so much that it doesn't bother me. You'll see because it's fast and quick. And if you make some wrong choices on it, who cares? Now remember, I can heal myself after this attack if I want. When you're damaged, I can heal myself with this Shake It Off ability. But let's see. The goblins attack with white dice as well. So let's see what they do. 2 more damage to me. So I'm down to 7. I am not going to heal yet. I'm going to wait till after the next one because that red dice can roll even up to 5. So I'm going to hold on to that damage for now. And we are done with that enemy activation. We are going to go to our cleric over here. Well, unfortunately, our cleric is all the way on this side of the board. And actually, I put her player board here, so I kind of did it out of order here. My wizard is actually all the way on the right. But it may not always be that way. So we are going to do a basic move over here with the cleric. She is going to move 1, 2 to get to the closest one to her anyway. Her movement is only 3, so she couldn't have gotten further. Now, the thing is, I could move again, because I do have another basic move, and I have a healing prayer and a basic attack. Her range is 1 to 3. She can't hit anybody. She's just going to lay low and call it a turn as well. So we go ahead and rescue another villager. All right, let's do the next enemy activation. Big Boss. Paul moves and makes a basic attack. Every goblin minion moves. Okay. Doesn't need to move, so he's going to make a basic attack. Basic attack is a white dice. We'll go ahead and do that. 2 more damage. I am going to use my healing prayer. The way you do that is you use it just like any card that was in your hand. So because it has a blue symbol, that means I can use it on the enemy activation. This X means I discard it for the rest of this battle. So first things first, I need to take that 2 damage. My warrior's down to 5. And this card is gone for the rest of this battle. But I'm going to roll a red dice and see how much I heal. That's 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. Healed right back from my warrior. So he's hanging in there. Or I should say she. I'm sorry. That's Roberta. Rigger Diablo says, do you know when this Kickstarter goes live? The Kickstarter is live right now. Adventure Tactics is on Kickstarter, and I am currently a backer. I'm going to go over my final thoughts later. I don't know if I'm going to move my camera around and stuff so you can see me at the end of the game. We'll see. I might go dark for a couple of minutes. But again, I'm actually planning on playing 2 missions here, and you'll see how fast they go. I'm obviously talking a lot, so it's not going as fast. But you'll see once we pick up the pace how fast this goes. So it's called Adventure Tactics, and the new expansion is called Alchemy. I would say I'm in for everything, right? But if you want to even give this game a test, I would buy. I think the base game and Alchemy expansion, and maybe the Heroes expansion, is probably all you need to get your value out of it. I mean, you could probably just buy the base game and get your value out of it. I am all in because I have the first edition, and I love it, and I love a lot of things about it. Mostly the leveling system, which again, I will show you. I'm going to show you 1 level. Actually, I'm going to show you 2 levelings, and I'm going to show you 2 missions, hopefully. That is my goal for tonight. So with that being said, let's get back to it. So not only does the boss attack, but every minion moves. So they're just going to try to get 1, 2, 3 closer to these villagers here. We got 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. All right, so that's going to be that for the enemy activation. Now Elwyn's going to move. The wizard. All right, so wizard does have a basic move. So the wizard will use their basic move again to get adjacent to one of the villagers so I can rescue them. Elwyn's move is 3, so I am going to move all the way up here. And that will get me maybe in range for a fireball. Although, if I do a fireball, that's also going to hit my character over here, who's already taken quite a bit of damage. So maybe I'll just do a basic attack against this goblin over here. I can do that because I have a basic attack card, and I have a fireball attack card too. Fireballs, or blue dice, are swingy. I think they're just a normal D6, whereas red dice are kind of more prone to be toward the middle. And again, those warriors only have 2 life. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to attack a goblin minion for red dice as my basic attack. And that's it. Goblin minion defeated. Now, they are not gone forever. Actually, I don't know where I put the other goblin minion. I must have eaten them. Well, hopefully we don't spawn that many more. Because I can't find it. I don't see it right now. But anyway, that's the 2 activations with that character. And now we are at the end of the round. So the next thing we do is clean up. What we can do is all of our characters can discard a card if they want to. But I'm actually pretty good. Oh, I'm sorry. We did rescue this one. That's why Elwyn went up there to rescue that one. So I'm actually pretty good right now. I am not going to discard any cards, I don't think. Yeah, I got some healing, moves, and attacks over here. I got some fireball and some moves over here. So I'm pretty happy with where my cards are right now. So I am not going to discard any cards. So at the beginning of our turn, we draw back up to 4 cards. There's no more mulliganing. So 2 of my characters are only drawing 1. Now, if I had chosen not to do any activations with the character, I could have... Oh, I'm sorry. Guidance. At the end of your turn, you may move an adjacent hero 1 square. Well, nobody was adjacent there. And my warrior or wizard could have moved diagonally if I wanted, but I didn't want to. So I'm not using any of my special abilities. That's going to be it. I am going to shuffle these up. And again, with the new variant from Alchemy, I am going to start with the enemy's activation at the beginning of this phase. And I didn't lose a goblin. I just realized there was only 3 on the board at the beginning. So I thought the warrior had defeated one, but no. The warrior was out of range now that I remember. Alright, so enemy activation, then my warrior's gonna go, then my cleric quill's gonna go, and then the wizard again. Was that the same as last time? It sure was. I don't know what's going on here. I did not did not set that up, that is for sure. And it looks like... Oh, hello? Back now? I am so sorry. Yes, the audio did die. I don't know what happened. I must have hit the mic. I don't know what you caught of that, but bottom line is I decided to rescue the villager here. I did not have to rescue that villager, but I did decide to rescue the villager because they're a villager. I could have used them as a bait because we are going to get reinforcements that would have attacked that villager, but I don't want them killing any of my villager buddies. Even though I only had to rescue 4 of the 5, still didn't want that to happen. So the cleric over here is in a little bit of trouble getting surrounded. So apologize for the sound going out there for a minute, but hopefully it's all back and ready now. So if somebody can confirm, I appreciate that. Back. Perfect. I appreciate that. All right, so we are going to draw back up to our hand size. Now again, I can discard a card. My warrior is going to discard charge. Although, maybe he wants to run away. I don't know. But going to draw 3 more cards for my warrior. There's nothing I'm going to discard for my cleric, so I drew another healing and a divine flame, so that's good. And then my wizard, they like their fireball and their move. In fact, that's probably what they'll do next turn. Ooh, they got a teleport, which is exchange positions as a free action. This is the best part of this. As a free action, exchange positions with another hero in range, and the range is up to 8. So that's pretty cool. Hopefully my wizard will go early. But as a reminder, I go before them in this round. I do need to spawn 2 more goblins though. My cleric's got some friends over there. I don't know what he did, but it's a goblin party. I guess I should shuffle these in front of you guys. Oops, those are face up. That is not helpful. On the back is face down is more helpful. So let's see. I'm going to pick this one, then I'm going to shuffle again. And I'll pick this one and this one. And the order is reversed this time. So this time the wizard's going to go first, which might actually save my warrior from taking my first casualty. Although, maybe I'll do it just to show you all what the revive potion does anyway. So we'll see. Actually, nah, my wizard's going to teleport in. My wizard to the rescue. We call it the wizard tank, although my wizard tank only has 6 hit points. So maybe not the best choice, but at least she has some, Elwyn over here has some defense. So first thing I'm going to do is teleport. Exchange positions with another hero in range. Again, range up to 8. So we are going to switch their spots. Boom, boom. Now we are going to do a basic attack. Basic attack for Elwyn is a red dice. And that does 2 damage. So 2 more damage. So we're going to change that 3 to a 5. And now we've got 7 total damage. Now, do I do a fireball? I am standing right in the range of a fireball. If I do a 6, that would actually kill me. So my other option is to do a basic move. I don't like being adjacent here. That is for sure. Yeah, I don't want to move too far from my cleric either, though. All right, I'm going to do a basic move. My basic move is range up to 3. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 to come over here. And I'm still not out of range. I'm going to go 1, 2. Well, it doesn't matter. He'll probably move. Well, 1, 2, 3, just in case he doesn't move. So there's a space in between us now. And I'm going to hold on to that fireball and hopefully get to use it to devastating effect. But now the enemy's activation. Pillage. Every goblin minion moves and makes a basic attack. And remember, when there are no more enemies, they're going to attack me. So 1, 2, 3. Or 1, 2 over there. And 1, 2, 3. Not quite in range yet, but these 3 are. So all 3 of those attacks are going to go off against my cleric. They all attack for a white dice. I'm just going to roll them all at once. I don't have any defensive abilities, at least to the best of my knowledge. Oh, I shouldn't have drawn my hand back. Oh, I should have. Never mind. All right, so I'm going to just roll all 3 attacks simultaneously while I'll do them one at a time. That's 1 damage, 2 damage, and 1 damage. So for a total of 4. I'm at 8, now down to 4. That wasn't as bad as it could have been. So I have some healing spells. I actually feel pretty good about that, considering just got attacked by 3 goblins. So it is my cleric's turn now. And let's start with one of those healing spells. I'm going to do a healing prayer, which, as you notice, is an X. It's going to heal 2 white dice of damage to me. So So I'll roll those 2 white dice, and that would have been 5 damage healed. I only have 8, so you don't heal above your maximum hit points. Let's see. Let's do some damage here. All right, so I'm going to do this attack. Nah. I'm going to do a basic attack with my cleric. My cleric attacks with the white dice. Let's see what happens with their basic attack. That is 1 damage. Oh no. So Goblin 1 has 1 damage on him. And they have all these boxes here for all the different goblins, which is kind of cool. And now we're going to go to the enemy activation. Let's see. I have the Game Academy here that says, this game looks so fun. Definitely need to get it and play it with my kids. You know, a lot of people have described it as a kid game. I would say the tactics in this are above kid level game, in my mind anyway. I really like playing this, and I'd play it with gamers. You can play it with kids. As you can see, you just play 2 cards out. Super easy to do. I will show you the leveling system, which I think is by far the best part of the game. So as soon as we get done killing this hobgoblin over here, so I don't know why I'm wasting time attacking these little minions. I should have moved over toward the hobgoblin. I was trying to prevent some damage for myself, but that was stupid. All right, so enemy activation. We'll go there. Pillage. Every goblin minion moves and makes a basic attack. All right, so this one's coming in here. So we'll do 1 dice against my warrior first for 1 damage. So my warrior is down to 1 life. That is close. And then we'll do 3 attacks again against my cleric. 1 damage, 3 damage, and 1 damage for a total of 5. So 8 down to 3. There is some dice, there is some luck, there is card play, there's luck in what you draw, stuff like that. But I don't think any of that matters because gameplay is so fast and furious. And again, if I was playing up to speed, you would get that a little bit more. Let's see. I'm going to forget these goblins, and I'm going to make a basic move over here to work toward the boss. And my warrior, again, their basic move. Oops. I don't know why I put my rock toss over here. Basic move is 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 instead. And then I will do a rock toss. So 1 white dice and push them 1 square. Come on, let's get that 3. Boom, for 1, which is not 3. All right, so I've done a total of 8 damage, 10 more to go. I can push 1 square, and I will push 1 square. Push this way. That way it's 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. I don't remember if there's targeting priority. I think I get to pick which way they go, so clearly I'm going to have them attack my wizard. They think the warrior looks too buff and tough. So we are going to redo this again using the alternative enemy activation line. I do have to spawn 2 more goblin minions as well. But the enemy's going to go first, then 2 of my characters. Oh, we start with the cleric, which might not be the worst. Well, we start with the enemy, then we're going to go to a cleric, then the warrior, then my wizard. All right, so only 1 enemy activation is going to happen before my warrior, which is probably a good thing. All right, so first things first, though, let's spawn some goblins. And I am up to 6 on the board. All right, let us see what the goblin activation is. And again, don't think these are so basic. These are basic because this is the basic boss. So gang tactics. Paul moves and uses harpoon. So he doesn't need to move because he's in range already. He's going to pull in my wizard over here. And this time I'm not going to be so friendly and put them in a spot that they can get attacked. So it's up to range 5. That is 3 damage to my wizard. And I will take that. 1, 2, 3. So I am down to 3 life on my wizard. Going to pull me adjacent. And no goblin can get in range, so that's it. He pulls me in, but nobody can get there to take me out. All right, let's work on my cleric. Maybe my cleric will heal someone, not themselves. All right, I did not draw back up cards at the end of my turn, so I should probably do that. My cleric's deck is out, but let's see what we got. We got 2 basic attacks. That is not my cleric. I was like, wow, when did my cleric get a fireball? I got 2 healing prayers, a basic attack, and divine flames. So my best range is 3. I can only move at half speed because I got no basic move cards. So maybe I just sit here. I mean, killing a goblin's not going to do anything. They're literally going to just respawn. So maybe I just start working my way over. Half speed for me is only 1 though. So I'm definitely going to just heal myself. So healing prayer, that is gone for the rest of this mission, but that's 2 white dice of healing. Heal a total of 3. I'm at 3, so that puts me to 6. And then I will do target is weakened. Actually, I should have paid attention to that because no, I did a basic attack last time, so never mind. So this is target is weakened. This is another discard card. So Divine Flames I only get to use once. I was going to try to save this for the boss. Weakened means they do half damage. So I'm not going to go after the hurt one. I'm going to go... Oh, yeah, I am. Goblin Minion 1 is already hurt. I'm going to just go ahead and take them out. I don't have it. Oh, no, I have a basic attack. I'm going to just take them out with a basic attack. I'm going to try to save that Divine Flames and then try to move over here. So I'm going to do my basic attack, which is just a white die. Doesn't matter. Of course, now I hit for the big one. All right. So that one is gone. So that was my 2 activations with her. And let's go to my warrior. So my cleric's name is Quill. My warrior's name is Roberta. Let's see what her 4 cards are. All right. We got 3 basic attacks and a basic move. She's only range 1, so she's going to go right in there. She's like, hurt? Who cares about being hurt? I'm going to attack you with my basic attack. That is a red die. Come on. Let's see a big number. 2 is not a big number. So that is 2 more damage. So we're up to 10 total. So I can just flip this one over. There's 5s and 10s and 1s and 3s on opposite sides. So that's kind of cool. Makes it easy. Yeah, and I got 2 more basic attacks. Although I'm about to die. And we'll see what happens when we die. Honestly, I don't remember. It's not like you get a penalty or anything. You're basically removed from the board. You have to mark. I don't know. It doesn't say to mark where you are. Again, I have some problems with some of the editing of the rules and things like that in this one. That's my only real major complaint. But beside that, like, it doesn't say what you do, but it says if you're healed, you go right back to where you were. So how do you know where you were? If, you know, you put as close as possible. Like, I don't understand why they did it that way. If you're going to do it that way, give us death pawns. If not, just say lay your figure down. Now, obviously, I can't lay my figure down. They're already laid down just for ease of viewing it. But, yeah, that's one of the things I wish they would clarify in the rules. Like, it says you can heal them, but I assume they have to be in range. But how can they be in range? Because you're supposed to take them off the board. I don't know. There's a lot of weird stuff with that. I wish they would clarify that. Maybe even give you knocked out tokens to put in for each character. You put it on their space or something. Or just say lay them down. And, yes, I understand people have to walk around them, but who cares? So, Pillage. Every Goblin minion moves and makes a basic attack. So I'm not going to move these 2. This one will move to try to get close enough. And we'll say that's in range because range 1, again, range attacks can be diagonal. So I think they can all attack. So we will roll 3 dice. All right. So first attack, 3 damage. Second attack, 2 damage. That's a total of 5. I have 1 life left with that cleric. So the third one knocks that cleric out. And so for now, I'm just going to mark the cleric knocked out with the 1 heart symbol. And then I'll put a 1 heart symbol on her board so I can mark that that's 1. If my warrior also gets knocked out, we'll mark him with a 3. So let's go ahead and activate the wizard. Now, unfortunately, the wizard, while they want to do the fireball, isn't going to... probably not going to be able to. All right, I got 2 basic attacks and I got 2 fireballs. I'm just going to do a basic attack here. So, sorry if you couldn't see that, but 2 fireballs, 2 basic attacks. We'll just do a basic attack, which is a red dice. And let's get some 5s. Come on. Come on. 3. So up to 13 damage. So let's see. Blue dice. I knock myself out. I knock everybody out with that blue dice. Oh my goodness. Versus red dice. Blue dice does more damage, but it's also going to do it to me. So we're going to do 1 more basic attack because I do go first in the next round. As long as it's not my cleric, I should be okay. So let's go ahead and do that. Boom, 4 more damage. So that's 3. So that is 4 more damage. So that's 7. I'm literally 1 short. So anybody who can attack next turn, I should be able to defeat them. All right, so the cleric's the only one I'm worried about getting in range. So everybody else is out of cards. I will go ahead and shuffle up their decks and draw back up to 4. I can discard cards if I want. And actually, I'm going to discard one of those fireballs because I'm probably not going to get it. I want to get a basic attack with my wizard in case they attack first so they don't blow everybody on the board up. Although I think I'd still be considered a win. But I'd rather not be all the way knocked out. So the 2 ways you can lose is if all your characters are knocked out at the same time. Or again, if you need to use a second revive potion. Or I'm sorry, you have no revive potions left and all your characters are knocked and you get one character knocked out. At that point, you lose immediately. All right, so I got Divine Flames and Healing Prayer. I'm going to discard Healing Prayer to get some move. Draw 2 cards. They were both basic moves, so that's good. I got that going for me. So if I do revive, I believe I heal and I come right back in, and maybe I can activate? I'll have to look that up. To be honest, I haven't been knocked out on this first mission when I was replaying it again. I haven't played it in a while, so I don't remember. I got 2 attacks with my warrior. That's fine, and I drew a charge, and it doesn't really even matter what that last card is going to be, but we'll see what it is anyway. My warrior's down to 1 life, my cleric's knocked out, and my wizard's down to 3 life. It's not looking good. The only benefit is we know, again, so it takes a little bit of the excitement out of it, I guess you could say, by doing this enemy activation in this prescribed way. But not really, because if I get my cleric right now, I'm still in a world of hurt. So I'd rather not get my cleric first, but I just like the certainty of it. It's just me. Oh, there you go. Wizard first. Hopefully they have something beside a fireball, which might destroy my warrior. Oh, then warrior, and then cleric last. All right, so let's start with my wizard. Wizard has 2 basic attacks, a fireball and a teleport. Well, there you go. Basic attack. Boom, boom, boom. Red dice. Need 1 damage. Clearly I got the 1 damage. So that hobgoblin is knocked out. So we achieved both objectives here. So I'm going to pull all this stuff off the board and read the end story here. We'll go ahead and flip the page. So that is the first one. And now we're going to get to the leveling up stuff, which is really cool. So as you see, for resolution, maybe don't see, but resolution, we got a success plus, or a failure. We got a success plus because we completed that side mission too. So it says, if the heroes defeat Prawl, Hobgoblin Chieftain, and rescue enough villagers, success! You have driven off the goblins, and villagers handsomely reward you. The goblins appear to have been trying to kidnap a newborn baby from the orphanage. So all heroes advance 1 level. So again, this is the cool stuff. I am not going to make you watch me dig through cards. That's the only negative part of this, is there's a lot of cards to go through to do all your leveling up, but I already have all my stuff picked out. So let's talk about everything we're going to level up and why we're going to level them. So when you level up, you can choose to level up in any of the 5 basic classes, which are Fighter, Rogue, Archer, Cleric, and Wizard, right? So I don't have the Rogue in our game, and I don't have the Archer in our game. But you can level up in any of those. But then you level up to these elite classes over here. I don't know how well you can see that. But in order to get to be an assassin, you have to have 2 levels in Rogue. To be a barbarian, you have to be a Fighter level 2. Bard, Archer level 1, Rogue level 2, or Cleric level 1, Beast Trainer, and so on. So I've decided for my wizard, I want to make my wizard into, where was it? A necromancer. So I need 2 levels of wizard to make a necromancer. I want to make my cleric into a monk. Why? Because I love monks. They're just one of my favorite things. So I need a cleric level and a rogue level. So you'll see me level into rogue there. Necromancer will level up to wizard level 2. And then my warrior, I wanted to make into a gladiator. They need fighter level 1 and archer level 1. Now, there are some things that are like further down the road. Like, for example, I might make a warlock too. No. Oh, it's one of the hero level 1 upgrades. It's sword master. I want to make my warrior into that as well. That needs fighter and wizard levels also. I think it needs 4 levels of fighter and 1 level of archer, I think. Something like that. I said wizard, but I meant fighter. So bottom line is, I'm going to try, you can level into multiple of these elite classes as well. Or within the elite class, once you're in there, you can level within it. And I can show you kind of what that looks like. But let's start. First things first. So I decided to upgrade to rogue level 1. So you grab this rogue level 1. Now, if you notice the difference, this one says cleric 1 starting. This says rogue 1. And again, who wants to be the rogue? Because I want to make a monk. Yep, so that's cleric. So this says rogue 1 plus 3 hit points. So I have my 8 hit points. And now from this card, I get 3 more hit points. So I'm up to 11 hit points with my cleric. They're still considered a cleric. They still keep the cleric card and all the cleric stats. This is just going to add stuff to their deck. So they get a new class feature, which is parry. So I have a choice. Where's Perry? Ah, here it is. So I have a choice. I have 2 class features now. I could start with either of them. And this one actually is a defensive one. Ignore a basic attack. So I'm actually going to start with Perry as my class feature when I start the game. I also, if you look on here, I get Nimble. So what does Nimble say? At the end of your turn, you may move 1 additional square. So not only can I move someone else with my cleric, but now the cleric can move themselves. All right, and then I get Shank and Dagger Throw. So Shank's a range 1, 2 blue dice attack, and Dagger Throw is a range 1 to 4 red dice attack. So a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more damage coming out of my rogue cleric now. But still that healing in there as well. So actually, there's one more thing in the card I didn't explain, and that is this symbol over here. This means plus or minus. You can add or take away a basic move or attack card. I just got some attack, and I want to get my cooler attack stuff, so I'm going to take out a basic attack from my cleric deck, and now that cleric has some more attack still, and they got some more defense now because they got this ignore basic attack. They got more special abilities. So as you can see, all this goes into how you level up a character. All right, so let's add that. I'll show you the mage next, or the wizard next. Wizard is going from wizard 1 with a starter on it, as you remember, to wizard 2. They only get plus 2 hit points. So not a whole lot. They had 6 to begin with. They're only up to 8 now. And they only get 1 special ability, which is Dice Wild Magic. So Dice abilities are on the right side of your character board here, while your passive abilities are on the left. So these get triggered. So the Wild Magic says whenever you make an AoE attack, roll an additional black die. So I'm going to get to roll this additional black die every time I make my fireball attacks. So I want my fireballs to go off more often. So I might get rid of a move. Let me think about this. I'm going to think about that while I move on. So that is my wizard level 2. So that was an easy one. I do get to, again, I could add an attack if I wanted, so I can make that deck even bigger. So as you can see, a lot of leveling options. All right, so my fighter is going to get an archer level. Now that doesn't mean, again, they still keep their basic stats, but it's just going to determine how they level up. So I started with 10 hit points at that one, and then I get 3 more, so up to 13 hit points. So my new class feature is Sidestep. Although I think I'm going to still start with my fighter one, which is the pretty good heal. But Sidestep is pretty nifty as well. Let's see what that is. So it's make a basic move for free. So it's just a yellow die, make a basic move. And then this one is when an enemy moves adjacent to you, make a basic move. So as a defense, and actually they clarified it, it's right when the enemy would attack you. So they move adjacent to you, they stop moving, they start their attack, and then you can use this to dodge out of the way. And if they don't have enough range, then they can't hit you. So it's either a free move or it's a sidestep. So that's pretty cool. I could have used that again as my class feature, but I decided not to. But I got a healing now because I added some archery to this. So this is a healing draft. So it's heal 2 white dice, but then it goes away at range 0 to 1, so you can use it on yourself. And quick shots, make up to 2 basic attacks against different targets. Now, this is really good when you use it on an archer. Not so great when your range is 1, but we'll see if we can use it to our best ability. And I get this scout ability. After the initiative order has been set, you may move your hero up or down at 1 spot. Because of this archer, scout ability, they are one of my favorite classes to add on, even if I don't need them to level up. Sometimes I just add them on anyway, because that way I get scout, which lets me move. And don't forget, this is just 1 level out of many, many levels we're going to gain with these characters. So I'm going to add all those cards, and I got a double attack there, and I got sidestep, which is a free move. So I'm going to get rid of a basic move out of, although warriors that can't move aren't great. Now I'll get rid of the attack, because first of all, with my fighter, I started with an extra basic attack, so I'll get rid of the extra basic attack. All right, so let's go back to my wizard. I think my wizard, because they've got the teleports and stuff like that, and they don't really have to be that close, although they're pretty slow without moves. I'm going to get rid of a basic attack for them too. So actually, all 3 of my characters got rid of a basic attack, and that's leveling up. So as you can see, and again, if I didn't take so long to play through that first mission, you would have seen it even better. But it's pretty neat and pretty quick how fast you level up and how you do stuff. Now, I will say, when you are leveling up, when you are by yourself, you wouldn't, when you're playing the real game, you would not have all these things preset. Like, you would have to dig through decks to find them. So it takes a little while, but I think it's worth it because the leveling up stuff, I don't know. I love how many options you have and how different all your characters end up at the end, and like, how you can level them up in different ways. So once I get my Necromancer level, I can either go to Necromancer 2, or I can add a Warrior level 1 to me, or I could add an Archer level 1, so that way I can get that Scout ability. And again, after a while, you're going to have so many of these abilities that you're not going to be able to even fit them all on your character sheets. Now, we're not done because we get some other stuff for completing this mission. So I'm shuffling up my decks here, but I am not done the leveling up. So let's get rid of this. Sorry, hopefully I didn't knock out my sound again. No, it looks like it's good. All right. And now, so we just did the first step. All heroes advance 1 level. Now, all heroes receive the following from the supply loot. So it tells you where to search. 1, 2, or 3 items randomly selected from Prawl, Hobgoblin, depending on the hero count, 3, 4, or 5 heroes. So I am going to take those different options. He's got a helm, he's got a charm, and a harpoon. So I'm going to pick one of those at random. And I get to give it to my heroes. And the other 2 actually go in the market, so I will be able to buy them later. So the gear is there, but somebody else looted it. So I got the harpoon. Make a basic attack. You may move the target into a square adjacent to you, or you may move into a square adjacent to the target. So it's a 1 to 3 range attack. So just like he was attacking us from 5 and pull us in it, we can do the same thing for them. So this is a weapon. It goes in the weapon slot, and just like your class feature, it's just another card that acts like it's in your hand. Anytime you want to use this as one of your 2 card plays, you just pick it up. And as you see, there's weapons on the bottom. So that's how you know it's a weapon. So I am going to take this, and I'm going to give this to my, I'm going to give it to my warrior. All right, so that's that. And then the other 2, again, go in the market, so I can buy them later. So let's see. Heroes receive 2 bags of gold and an encrypted note. So let's go find those. Again, it tells you exactly where they are. Here you go. Here's the encrypted note. If you have both the codex and the encrypted note, you may move the decrypted note from supply items to party items. So I got an encrypted note now. And what did it tell me I got beside that? Oh, 2 bags of gold. Yes, so items in the market cost 2 bags of gold. So I got 2 bags of gold now. We will keep this with my other party items over here. And I'm probably going to have to move those out of the way because the next board is going to be a little bit bigger. So right now in the market, I have some stuff that started there. Prawl had another item. He had a healing potion, which I didn't throw in there, but that's okay. Accidents happen. So the market has these 2 cards plus all of Prawl's cards. So it has a healing potion, a wagon, and all the thing Prawl had. So that's kind of nifty. So again, your market expands. Everything expands as you go through the campaign. All right, so we got the encrypted note. So now heroes receive Adrenaline Rush from story perks. So Adrenaline Rush is another one of these dice things. It says at the beginning of every encounter phase, place a shield token on this card. Whenever you roll dice, you may remove a token from this card to roll an additional red dice. Who do I want to give that to? I feel like my mage, because he could blow up a bunch of stuff. So I am going to go ahead and take this token and put it on here. So every mission I'm going to have this, and I'm running out of space here, so I'm going to put these 2 abilities down below. It's fine if you're limited on space. The game is pretty small, but it can sprawl a little bit. It doesn't take long for that to happen. So that is that. So that is the end of our mission, and now I get to choose an option. So one says pursue the goblins to rescue the baby. Go to page 5 on number 10, but that's got a skull next to it. It means that's the harder choice. Or rest and investigate. Stock up on supplies and search for clues. Go to 3 on page 9. I'm going to do that. I'm going to stock up first. So rest and investigate. You find an important looking note on one of the goblins. It looks encrypted and it's sealed with a crest of a noble family that you don't recognize. You may also spend time with some of the local merchants before departing town. So this is going to let us do some merchant stuff. Now, normally it's 2 gold, but this actually says for 1 gold you can buy from any market item from the market. You could buy a healing potion. You could buy a sewer key. You could decrypt the encrypted note. You can draw 2 random market perks and buy them, or take one of them. Yeah. So you can buy if you buy the wagon, you also have to put an event in your random encounters. So just like Gloomhaven, you might have random encounters between missions. So we could do that if we buy the wagon. So let's see. Also, it says heroes may sell equipment cards and party items for 1 bag of gold apiece, and add any cards sold this way to the market. Sorry. All right. So heroes receive the encrypted note. Well, we already have the encrypted note, so that's not a problem. That's if we didn't get the best result, we would have still gotten the encrypted note here. So to continue the story, so I'm going to buy 2 things. So decrypt the encrypted note for go to 4 below. I think I'm going to do that, and I'm going to add a sewer key. Seems important. So I'm going to get the sewer key item, and I'm going to take this decrypted note, put it back, and get the encrypted note. So I'm going to proceed to encounter 4 because that's what it told me to do once I decrypt the note. So it says, you receive the note. It reads, capture the red-haired freckled child from the orphanage. She must be unharmed. Meet me under the capital city, Lady V. Dun dun dun. So it wasn't just these goblins doing this. Lady V is behind this. The seal belongs to a noble griffin house, a powerful family in the kingdom's capital. So add decrypted note. Sorry, I wasn't supposed to do that till now. And remove the encrypted note. So we've got that. Continue the story. If you do not have a child of destiny and have not completed the encounter already, you may pursue the goblins, rescue the baby, go to page 5 on 10. Otherwise, so I haven't done it. We're still going to go after that baby. Let's do it. Mission 5 on page 10. So here we go. And there's a little bit of setup on this one. This is a bigger map, so I'm not going to, unfortunately, be able to have everything on there. This is a 4-board long map, so let me go ahead and create that and then kind of set things up. But if you have any questions, comments, I see there's a lot of people out there still, so feel free to chat everything in and while I'm setting stuff up. Alrighty. So, by the way, this north is a cardinal north token here. That kind of, in some scenarios, makes a difference. Like enemies may randomly move toward the north or whatever else. I'm going to have to clear some space here, I think, to get everything in. Actually, it kind of works. Sorry if my voice is a little distant. I am not right up on the microphone. So I apologize for the audio quality discrepancy, but I'm going to get the tokens here to set up. So we're going to have wraiths in this next mission. So I get a wraith token 4 down over here. And again, all this is right here in the book. Really easy to see. We got Goblin Minion 1 and Goblin Minion 2. We've seen those before. These might be a little bit tougher. I can't remember because they're different in every mission. Yeah, they have 3 hit points in this one. They move 5 and they attack at range 3. So these are a little bit tougher Goblin Minions. With a white dice. All right, Goblin Minion 1. It is 3 down and 4 over. So 3 down, 1, 2, 3, 4 over. Goblin Minion 2 is going to be 3 spaces below that one. So let's do that right over here. We got another Wraith spawning portal. So Wraith spawning number 2 is right down here in this corner. We got Wraith spawning portal 3 over here. Yes, there are wraiths chasing after us. We're going through some. We got the chieftain over here. So this is going to be a kind of pick up and deliver type mission. So that is 4 up. So that's another cool thing about this game is that every mission, again, is a little bit different. You're doing different things. Now these blue ones over here, I don't know if y'all can see that, but we are not going to do those because those are for 5 players only, or actually 4 and 5 players. So for 3 heroes, we don't use those spawn points. So 1, 2, 3, 4 over, and 1 up is Wraith 4. All right, and let's actually get the Wraiths and the Wraiths deck. I don't need the Hobgoblin deck anymore, so I don't have that. But I do need the Wraiths and the Wraiths deck and little baby token. Aw, poor little baby token. That will also be part of this mission. Let's see. So Wraith 1 goes here. Wraith 2 goes here. Wraith 3 goes there. And Wraith 4 goes there. And that's it. Done setting up and ready to go on the next mission. So shuffle up the Wraith cards. Might not be as easy to see this time. And again, I'm going to have to take this board off. But let's kind of talk about everything that's in the book before we do that. Let's see. You need the Wraith Spawn tokens, the Child token, Wraith Boss Encounter deck, Wraith Spawn tokens. Place the Wraith tokens underneath the spawners. Okay. All right. So here are all the special rules and stuff. And let me move this up here so the microphone won't be too far from me. You get to pursue the goblins. You quickly catch up to the goblins by nightfall as they were not expecting pursuit. You find them deeply entranced in some dark ritual that takes them by surprise. One of you grabs the baby when several dark, wispy figures materialize. A cacophonous chorus of sibilant... Wow, they really tested my reading skills here tonight. A cacophonous chorus of sibilant voices hisses, "Give us the child." You quickly realize that this isn't a fight you can win against both goblins and fell-conjured apparitions. You must flee. So special, at the beginning of the encounter, choose one hero to be the designated child bearer. Wait a minute. What? Child bearer? Child bearer should take the child token and place it near their player board. Probably going to be my cleric, but we'll see. Maybe the warrior. Warrior's got a lot of life too. On their turn, the child bearer may take an action to discard one card to make a hero within range 2 the new child bearer. So as one of your 2 actions, you can make somebody within range 2. I guess you're tossing the child to him. A hero adjacent to the child bearer may take an action to discard one card to become the new child bearer. So if you're next to him, you can grab the child. When the child is passed, the new child bearer should take the child token and place it near their player board. If the child bearer is knocked out, the encounter is immediately fails. So your objective, the child bearer reaches the safe zone. The safe zone is denoted in blue. So if you look, it's these last 2 rows over here is the safe zone. So we got to get the child bearer over there. So we're playing football. We got to go through all these people. Bonus objective, all heroes reach the 8x8, the last 8x8 tile. So if we can get all heroes on this last gray tile here, then we get the bonus objective as well. All right. So the Wraith has a basic attack of a black dice at range 1. Target is moved 1 square away from the Wraith. Passive abilities, Shapeless Void. Wraiths may move through heroes and enemies. Bound to Serve. Whenever a Wraith is defeated, it heals to its maximum hit points and returns to its starting spawning stone over there. So that's wonderful. So it says it can move through us, but I don't think we can move through them. Behavior. Targets a child bearer. If a Wraith cannot reach the child bearer with their movement, they will move 3 squares toward the child bearer. If they can reach another hero with the remaining 1 movement point, they will do so. So they move 4, they're going to move 3 toward the child bearer, and then if they can reach somebody else, they will. If not, I guess that last movement point is wasted. So Goblin Minion. Passive ability. Harangue. Heroes adjacent to a Goblin Minion may not take a basic move action. Oh, so these guys are going to be annoying. They have 3 life. Again, range 3, white dice attack. They move 5. Behavior targets closest hero. So the Wraiths target the Ring Bearer, and the Hobgoblin Champion ability net 1 damage at range 4. And again, it'll tell us when to do that, so I'm not even going to worry about that. It slows until they take an action to discard the card, to discard a card for no effect. So that slow will not go away. Passive ability, also Harangue, adjacent to the champion, cannot take a basic move action. And behavior targets the child bearer. So the goblin minions just attack the closest. Everybody else is going to attack the child bearer. For now, I'm going to leave the book off to the side. As we start getting to stuff and moving down, I'm going to move the book onto the board. But for now, I am not going to have it on the board. Sorry, I need to get a drink there. All right, let's see if there is any talk. All right. Wow. All right. So, we have Meet Me at the Table. Barrett, what's up? Hey, Peter, glad to see some adventure tactics. Yes, Barrett, this is one of my favorite games. You know me. I like stuff that is, I don't know. I don't want to say straightforward, but it's just fun, right? Like, there's nothing else I can use to describe it but fun. It's not overcomplicated. You play 2 cards, you do your turn, and that's it. So I am going to make my fighter because I think I have that free basic move card with my fighter as well. Yeah, sidestep. So I'm going to keep my heal up there because they're going to be targeted. They have the most hit points. Feels like the right move. Although the cleric can completely ignore a basic attack, but I still think healing red will probably be better than most basic attacks. All right, we got that one. We got this one. And I am going to do a leveling up again at the end of this mission just to show you, because as you noticed, all my elite classes were level 3. I only need 2 other classes to get there. So all the ones I'm going for, that was not on purpose, by the way. This is what I decided. So this is honestly a campaign that I started playing yesterday and I reset it. So I'm trying to get it as close to that campaign as possible. I got to remember I have this weapon here too. And Scout is a super important one. All right, we're going to shuffle in the last set of cards. This one feels a lot lighter because this is the only character that did not get new cards to their 11 card deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Why did they? That does feel awful light. Hold on a second. I messed something up here. So 1, 2. All right. So I got 4 basic attacks. I got 3 basic moves. And I got 3. Oh, I should have 10, right? Because I discarded one of my cards with my plus minus when I leveled up. That's right. So the wizard is going to be getting to be blowing stuff up rather frequently. Oh, so I get to spawn my characters on these 2 rows. And I think we know what's going on here. You, sir, or ma'am, are the football runner. We will have the cleric over here to heal you and the wizard over here to blow stuff up. Because that's what wizards do. They blow stuff up. All right, and the minute my warrior gets knocked out, the scenario's over and I lose. So let's not have that happen. All right, I am going to again do the random enemy the way it's done. I don't know. Should I shuffle them all together? If anybody responds to me that they want something different, if they want to see the way it is in the base game, let me know. But for now, I'm just going to keep going with the way it is in the expansion, the optional rule. Warrior, wizard, cleric. All right, so my warrior gets to go first. Let's have them draw up their 4 cards. Ooh, I do have a sidestep, a basic attack, and quick shots. So I'm going to mulligan that because I would like more movement, please. Probably shouldn't have removed a move. Oh, no, I removed an attack from my warrior. So, yeah, I didn't remove a movement. After the initiative order, I can change my spot. Actually, I think I might want to do that. I'm going to move down in the initiative order and let the enemy go first. Because they're pretty far from me. I mean, that Wraith might come up and get an attack on me. But I'm going to do that. So I get 4 cards. That's much better. 2 basic moves, a charge, a basic attack. I like that much better. Let's see what the cleric gets. Hopefully some healing, some movement, some attack. For them, 2 basic moves, a shank, and a dagger throw. All right, like all of that. And let's see what my wizard gets. Probably lots of attacks because that's what they have in their deck. So 1, 2, 3 4 cards for my wizard. My wizard's initial draw is 2 basic moves, an attack, and a teleport. All right, I'll start with that. I mean, that's lots of moves. You know, the wizard's probably my best at moving, but only 8 life scares me. All right, so I did move down in the initiative track again, hoping it's not the race that activate, although it probably will be. But that's okay. Let's see what happens. Bells of Doom. Every wraith moves and makes a basic attack. Every goblin harasser moves. The goblin champion moves and makes a basic attack. All right, So let's do these one at a time. If the Goblin Champion can use Net on the Child Bearer, it does instead of making a basic attack. Well, that ain't going to happen anyway. They're too far away. All right, so let's start with the Wraith. The Wraith each move 4 spaces. So 1, 2, 3. Now, that Wraith, that Wraith, 1, 2, 3. That Wraith cannot get to the, 4. We did say they can attack diagonally. Pretty sure that's right, but let's see. 1, 2, 3. This Wraith cannot get within range of anybody, so they don't keep moving. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So that's it for them. So now the Goblin minion, or this one's going to attack. So let's just do the Wraith's attack before we get too far ahead of ourselves. All right, so Wraith is going to attack for a black die. So not too bad, I hope. Of course, that is a 5. I am going to trash this right here and now to heal myself for a red. After I take the 5, so I go from 13 down to 8, and then I get to roll a red die to heal. And that 5 is right back, so I'm right back to 13. Take that! Haha! Shake it off is right. All right, but that card is now trashed, and it would have been even if I used it as a free action. So that's what it is. All right, so that's done. I haven't moved these guys. So the Goblin minions, they move 5 and attack at range 3. So they stop when they get in range. They're going to attack the closest hero, so that would be the wizard. So 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 exactly gets in range here. And then this one's just going to move as close as possible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then this one's going to move as close as possible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But actually, they don't attack, do they? What did it say? I'll read it back again in a minute. Every Wraith moves and makes a basic attack. Every Goblin Harasser moves, does not make an attack. And the Goblin Champion moves and makes a basic attack. Well, that Champion ain't going to attack me unless it's got a range of 57. So they move 3 spaces. So 1, 2, 3. All right, so they don't attack. That's actually good. That works. All right, so that was Bells of Doom. So that is the enemy turn. I have not taken an activation yet. Again, I'm going to keep these on the board. They shouldn't come into play. But I get to move my warrior. And move indeed is what I'm going to do. I am going to make a charge. Make a basic move action with +1 movement in one direction. You may move through other characters. Is that what I want to do? I feel like that is what I want to do. All right, so I'm going to move 5 spaces in one direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is my charge. And then I'm going to make another basic move over here. Basic move for 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I am running. That is my job. If I can bring everybody with me, I will. But if not, see ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. All right, let's see. Benecleef says, solid voice acting on the Give Us the Child. Thank you. Thank you. I've trained my whole life for that. By the way, I have not trained at all. I have not trained anything. Except for, I'm about to be a trained blower-upper because my wizard is going to make a basic attack with 1 red dice against the Goblin minion. Let's use this one that rolled a 5 a second ago. Actually, I didn't. 3. I think that's all I need to destroy these minions. Yep, 3 life. Boom. And guess what? They are not respawning this game. Now, the Wraiths are respawning, which... It's funny because I called this a boss battler and all you see me doing is fighting minions and stuff like that. But trust me, most of these you're just fighting against a boss. Alright, I'm going to do a basic move. My wizard is not so fast. He doesn't train in sprinting. I don't know if anybody out there listens to, I listened to it on audiobook, but has read Dresden Files. It is a great series of books. So he's a wizard that at one point realizes that he is a wheezy wizard, so decides to start training himself in the in like running and stuff like that. So that way he is not a slow wizard. But we don't have that wizard with us. We don't have Harry Dresden. We have Slow-Mo McElwyn over here. All right, so that's Elwyn. So let's draw another enemy card, see what they do. Sworn to Sin. Every Wraith moves and makes a basic attack. All right, 1, 2, 3. And can't get to anybody, so won't make their 4th movement. 1, 2, 3. Just trying to get closer. This one is going to move 1, 2, 3 through me and can get to somebody, can get to my wizard. So moves up and does that and then attacks with his what? Red dice? Oh no, black dice. Black dice, I think, have really high numbers and really low numbers. So let's hope for a low number. Let's do it. 2. Boom. I like to see that because my wizard only has 8 life, which is not the best thing in the world. In case anybody's wondering if 8 was good or not, I'll tell you right now, not good. Not good at all. All right, so that is all the enemies do. Just the race move and make... Oh, did I move this one? Yes, I did. I moved this one? Yes, I did. Move that one? Yes, I did. All right, so let's go with my thief. Or not my thief, it's my cleric, but I'm about to think he's a thief because I'm going to make a basic move to move up to 3 spaces. Not the swiftest cleric thief in the world. Now I have some choices. Do I throw dagger, which is a red dice, against 1, 2, 3, 4. You can do line of sight. It's from corner to corner anyway, but you can do it through friendly characters. You can't do it through enemy characters. These wraiths are going to respawn. These goblins are not, and they have decent range, so I'm going to throw a dagger. Instead of shanking, I'm going to throw a dagger. So I'm throwing a dagger at that goblin. Hopefully 1 red dice is enough to defeat it. Come on, come on. High numbers, high numbers. Boom! There's another goblin. Another one bites the dust. But no. Another one bites the dust. And another one's gone, and another one's gone. Another one bites the dust. Hey, they're going to get you too. Another one bites the dust. All right, so that's it. So we got the baby carrier over here. We got the other 2 coming to assist, taking out goblins left and right. Cha-cha-cha. And that's going to be it. So the enemy is going to go first this round, and then 2 of ours, and then another enemy, and then 1 of us. Again, just as a reminder, if you're just joining us, this is not the way the base game works. You typically shuffle all the enemy tokens in with yours, but this is the way the expansion's going to have it done. And honestly, I hate the random initiative system. I hate it in Aeon's End. I hate it in other games, so I'm glad they are not going with that here. Ooh, wizard up early. Then the cleric, and then my warrior. Let me see what my warrior draws. So actually you're supposed to draw up, so you can discard at the end of your turn. I'm going to have my warrior discard a basic attack. I'm going to draw 3, so I got rock toss, charge, and 2 basic moves, so that seemed like a good idea. Yeah, because I might have him run. I mean, that's the goal, right? Run. Run, do run. Although if I run too far, then I'm going to run into these things. So maybe I won't move myself up. I was going to move myself up in turn order. Maybe I just stay there, because right now this is the only wraith that can get to me. And if I'm smart enough, I might be able to defeat it before it can. All right, so we got a shank and a basic move for my cleric. That is fine. It's the shanking cleric. So I got divine flames and a basic attack. So not great for keeping up. We got a teleport and a basic move. I'm going to keep both of those for the wizard. And 2 basic attacks. So my movement ability is not exactly where I'd love it to be. How much health do these wraiths have? They have 4 health in a 3-player game. All right. So good thing I went after the goblins, because those attacks would not have killed the wraiths. All right. So we've got the turn order. I am not going to change where I am on the turn order. I got to remember I can go diagonally by blinking over here. Here at the end of your turn, you may move 1 additional square. Oh, let's say I did that to move here. Actually, 1, 2, I could have gone here and still attacked, and then I'm going to move 1 more there. I'm cheating, I know, but I forgot that you can attack diagonally. At least in my mind you can, because it doesn't say in the book. But I'm pretty sure you can attack diagonally. Oh, I did read it on the FAQ. I believe yes. I know ranged attack for sure, but I'm pretty sure melee as well. So yeah, I would have done that and then move the extra 1. At the end of your turn, you may move an extra and nimble. At the end of your turn, you may move an additional... Oh, and I can make an adjacent hero move 1 square. And again, I'm not sure what adjacent is because it never covers that in the rules. At least I don't think it does. So it could mean orthogonally adjacent, which is what I've been playing it as, or it could be anywhere within the 9 spaces. I don't know, because again, it doesn't cover it. Because it could say at range 1 if it meant all 9 surrounding squares, or 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 surrounding squares. It would have said range 1. So I don't know why they say adjacent unless it's got to be orthogonally. But Anyway, Sworn to Sin. Every Wraith makes a basic attack, or moves and makes a basic attack. So same one again. So 1, 2, 3. And now can't reach anybody. Oh, make sure their range is 1. Yep, range 1. So not going to do anything. He's going to go 1, 2, 3. Doesn't need to move again. 1, 2, 3. Doesn't get to move again. And 1, 2, 3. All right. So this Wraith is going to attack with a red dice. I do not have any defensive cards this time, so let's just hope my natural brawniness can survive this. 2 damage. Not too bad. Go from 13 down to 11 health. Still quite a bit. Yeah, and killing this one would move it back here. It might be worth it. I don't know. But I can move away from them. It's the goblins I cannot move away from. But I kind of want to wait for my amigos as well to catch up. So we'll see what happens. But that is the enemy attack. Let's do Merlin's attack. So this one, if I knock them back, they go all the way back there, which seems good. So yeah, we're going to do that. With, I say Merlin, but his name is Elwyn. So basic attack's a red die. Let's see how that works out. 3 out of their 4 damage. I'm going to leave it at that. You know what? And I'm going to put the damage right on him. I could put it in the book, but you guys can see it better this way. And can make another attack, a basic move, or a teleport. I'm going to do a basic move. Wheezy Wizard, going to run up 3 spaces. All right, so that's it for the Wizard. We are going to have our Cleric activate. So our Cleric's got Divine Flames, basic attack, Shank, and a basic move. Weakened is pretty cool because it's going to half their attack, but only for this turn. And that's at range 3. So I could go up and weaken this one. I feel like I should finish this one off while I'm there. So I think I'm just going to do basic move, basic attack. So basic move, goes 1, 2, 3. Basic attack, attacks with a white dice, which is not great, but it's something. And that's 2 damage, which is plenty enough. And when do they respawn? I don't know if they respawn right away or not till the end of the turn. Hopefully not till the end of the turn, but I can figure that out real quick. So Wraith says, passive ability, Shapeless Void. Wraiths may move through, we got that, Bound to Serve. Whenever a Wraith is defeated, it heals to its maximum hit points and is returned to its starting square. That is immediately. That is not at the end of the round. All right. Well, we got rid of 1 Wraith. Got a couple more sitting here chasing us down, but hopefully I can move far enough that, unfortunately though, then I'm going to have to start worrying about the goblins. So we'll see how that all works out. I don't want to move too far past my sisters over here, but they're pretty slow. All right, so I did say I'm going to do the enemy activation next. That might have been a terrible idea, but I'm doing it anyway. Thrall to Evil. The Goblin Champion in every Goblin Harasser moves and makes a basic attack. Well, that's not too bad because I think they only move 3, which is great. And so 1, 2, 3, and this one only moves 1. 1. Yeah, there are no basic attacks to be made here, sir. Not today. If the Goblin Champion can use the net, it does that instead. Well, I might just be able to run right by him. He's kind of out of the way over there. Let's see how that works. All right. So now it's Warrior's turn. Warrior needs food badly. I mean, do I just do this? I think I do, right? Charge, make a basic move with +1 movement in one direction. You may move through characters. Let's just run, right? Oh, wait a minute. Nimble. At the end of your turn, you may move an additional space. So let's not forget that. But yeah, I'm going to charge. I'm definitely going to charge. So that is a 5 move. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then let's just keep going. We got a basic move. Let's do that. That's 4 more spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey guys, I know my side objective is to make you come with me, but maybe not today. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe I will wait for you, but right now it's not looking good. All right, so again, using the new initiative track. So I'm going to go 1st, 3rd, and 5th. Nothing happens at the end of the round. No wraiths activated on that last activation. I got to remember I have this harpoon too, although I'm not sure that I want to pull people toward me. But maybe. Range 1 to 3. We'll see. We'll see how bad this Hobgoblin Chieftain becomes, because he may move toward me and like slow me, which would annoy me. Alright, we got a Cleric, we got a Wizard, and Warrior. Alright, this time I am moving my Warrior ahead of them in the initiative track. That again is the Scout ability. After the initiative order has been set, you may move your hero up or down 1 spot, which is kind of sweet. Oh, Adrenaline Rush. At the beginning of every encounter, place 1 here. I can add a red dice to an attack. I gotta remember that. If I'm trying to blow up Wraiths, that'll make it much, much easier. In fact, that will guarantee a Wraith death. So that seems good. So let's see if I want to discard anything. Do I discard Rock Toss? Oh, I'll keep Rock Toss because I already have a basic move in there. Oh, 2 basic attacks for the Warrior. Not what I wanted to see. So I got Shank, Divine Flames, and I'm going to discard Divine Flames to draw 3 cards. I got a basic move, a basic attack, and a healing prayer. Not great for somebody who wants to move and catch up. I got a teleport, a basic attack. I'm going to get rid of the basic attack. I'm going to hold the teleport. I draw 2 fireballs and a basic attack. Also not great for trying to catch up. Alright, Wizard. The Wheezy Wizard. Alright, I think that makes my decision for me. I'm running. I'm running for the hills with that Warrior when I can. So let's start with Quill, who is my healer. I do a basic move, and all their attacks are range 1 to 3, so I could actually... Well, this Shank is at range 1, though. Let me make a basic move. That will move me 3. 1, 2... Oh, wait. This one's here, so, yeah, I'll move 3. And then I'm going to shank this one. 2 blue dice for the shanking. And that is 6 damage. Boom, boom, boom. Let me see the Wraith go by. Bye-bye. Unfortunately, Wraiths don't go bye-bye for long, but it's further away, so I think that might have been worth it. Let's see the enemy's activation. Don't move the goblins, just the Wraiths. Thrall to Evil. The Goblin Champion and every Goblin Harasser moves and makes a basic attack. If the Goblin Champion can use his net on the Childbearer, it does so instead of making a basic attack. Well, that is not at all what I wanted to see. Again, this is mission 2, though, so it's not meant to be overcomplicated or over hard. So, you know, you've seen me run through it, but that's kind of on purpose, right? I think they're doing that just to ease you into the system. So, and you don't really become cool until you get a lot of levels. So trust me, the game gets much harder later on. So passive, no. Goblin Minion, yes. Targets the closest hero. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so we'll target. Moves up to 5, but only to range 3. 1, 2, 3. It's already at range 3. So it's just going to attack me with a white dice. Do I have any healing or any other abilities in my hand? I don't. So that's 2 damage. So that's down from 11 to 9. And the badness is about to happen, though, because this one moves 1 space and does his net ability. Oh, it's at range 4, so actually doesn't move, because it just wants to get to within range. All right. 1 damage at range 4. Target is slowed until they take an action to discard a card. So, I take 1 damage, so that gets me down to 8, and I am slowed. There are these tokens. Hold on, let me go get them. By the way, I put all my tokens in one of these organizers. If you guys don't have something like this, I find it really amazingly good. They're from, not Bed Bath & Beyond. Maybe it is Bed Bath & Beyond. They're like $3 or something. I find them great. Most of the ones I get are perfectly clear, but they do have these tokens, and the one that slows you down is like a ball and chain around your foot. So pretty obvious that you are slowed. And let me read what slowed means. I believe it's you can't move more than 1 per card until you get rid of it. So basically, I'm going to discard a card to get rid of it. I thought it was right on the back of the rule book, but it is not. can't be that hard to find. It's near the back somewhere. It's just, here we go. Slowed. Characters can only ever use a maximum of 1 movement point anytime they move. Yeah, so getting rid of that as soon as I can. Stupid goblin throwing a net around me. What's up with that? All right, so Victor Von Doom and Benecleef are here. What's up? So Benecleef says, how does difficulty curve / scaling compare to Gloomhaven? Victor Von Doom says, hey, you're not on the computer. I've been looking at this game. Can an 8-year-old handle it? She does fine with Marvel Champions, Pandemic, and similar difficulty games. This is definitely easier than Marvel Champions, Victor. And Benecleef, I didn't forget about you. Definitely easier than Marvel Champions, and I think they're going to love it. This leveling system is amazing. No, I'm not on the computer. This is the first time ever that I haven't been on Tabletop Simulator. I'll be honest, and I didn't want to say this at the beginning of the video. Their mod sucks. It is awful. The stats aren't right. I mean, it's playable, but it's terrible. Like, I don't know why they put that on their Kickstarter page. It hasn't been updated in almost a year. It was sometime in 2000, middle of the year. Yeah, it's not good. My original plan was to play the Tabletop Simulator mod. It's not good at all. So that's why I'm playing live. So I don't know why they did that to themselves. Like, it's not a good representation. I feel like they just thought they had to show a Tabletop Simulator mod off, but in my opinion, that was a bad choice because I don't think the mod's good at all. I don't mean to disparage anybody's work here, but that's why I'm not playing on Tabletop Simulator. P4N9 says, howdy, y'all, and haha. All right, Benecleef. So, Victor, I'm telling you, I'm all in. My daughter is 9. She loves it. My son is 13. He still loves it. And I'll tell you, I love it. I play it solo all the time. So, because there's so many different classes, so many different class combinations, it is a really, really fun game. I'm all in on this one. I'm getting the big box and everything. I just upped my pledge today. So, I'm definitely all in. I love this game. I will tell you, there's some fiddly stuff in the game, and I'm going to go through final thoughts later. There's some fiddly stuff in the game. Not any of the rules or whatever. It's just sometimes cards aren't clear. Like I said, they never explain what adjacent is anywhere. You know, what makes that different from range 1? Why didn't they just call it range 1? So, I mean, I don't know. Is adjacent diagonal or orthogonal only? Like, they just don't explain a lot of... Not a lot. They have a lot of stuff explained, but there are definitely things missing. And that bothers me because I'm like a rules person. Not necessarily a rules lawyer, but I really want to know how it's meant to be played. You know, they're just like, put it in the closest adjacent space. They don't really explain what that means anywhere. I know logically what that means, but like, do I do it to my advantage? Do I do it to the AI's advantage? I just wish they explained that stuff. And if you don't mind it that much in things like Mice and Mystics, because it bothers me like crazy in that game too. And Aftermath, like a lot of those Plaid Hat games, they just don't have enough rules to explain what everything is going on. And so that bothers me. But if it doesn't bother you, then it shouldn't be a problem. I like this game despite those flaws. Like, you know, that doesn't keep me from thinking that this is a great game. So that tells you how high my opinion is of it. Because usually that's a deal breaker for me. I really hate that stuff. But the leveling is so unique and the tactical play is so fun. I'm showing you kind of 2 of the, not more boring missions, but they're not... It gets better as it goes along. It's not ever going to be some tactical genius gameplay, but I find the tactics fun in it, and I think there's enough, and the missions go quickly enough, and they get you to the cool part, which is the leveling up part, fast enough. So missions are half hour, 45 minutes. I mean, I'm talking to the chat today, and I'm still, you know, going to get 2 missions in 2 hours and 2 level ups. So yeah, I think kids should have attention span for it. You get to do cool stuff, but really easily, because the cards tell you what to do. Do a basic move. You look on your character sheet, your move is 4. Okay, charge, make a basic move with +1, but you have to move in a straight line. Okay, that's easy to understand, right? Like, all the cards are easy to understand, even when you have equipment. I have equipment here, right? All you do is discard this as if it was in your hand. So you can make a range 1 to 3 basic attack and move the target adjacent to you or move yourself adjacent to the target, right? It's very simple. All the things. This ignore a basic attack, right? I can parry. That makes sense. The way you can combine classes. I got a rogue cleric here. I got a fighter archer here. You know, this one's going to become a monk. This one's going to become a... What was the fighter archer? A gladiator, I think? And I got a level 2 wizard here. And this one's going to become a necromancer. So there's lots of cool stuff with very straightforward rules. And that's what makes this game great. You can make whatever you want. And you can do it pretty with ease as well. So that's what... I don't know. You can tell I'm gushing a little bit, but I do have problems with the game as well. I do have problems with the rules. P49N Peng says TTS likely didn't have enough RAM available to include all the sleeved cards. Okay. Nice. Yeah, I mean, I don't sleeve my cards. You guys can probably see that. I don't sleeve any of my cards. Here's my thought on sleeving. Well, I mean, everybody's got their own opinions, right? And opinions are what they are. I don't sleeve, and the reason for that is because I figure I can rebuy the game. I can rebuy the cards. Or, here's the thing that a lot of people don't say. They're like, oh, you can see the nicked up back of the cards. First of all, I barely pay attention to that, so for me, it's not a big deal. If it becomes noticeable, I will buy sleeves at that point, just not clear sleeves. I'll buy sleeves with backs, so you can't see the back of the card. So you can always make the sleeving decision later, but if I sleeved every game in my collection, it would just be, it's too much. First of all, it's too much time, but second of all, it's too much effort, it's too much money. Like, my favorite games, I will sleeve them later on down the road if I need to. Marvel Champions, I don't even have sleeved. I have some of it sleeved. Actually, I lost one card, so I had to sleeve that deck because I made a photocopy of it. I wasn't going to rebuy a hero deck for one card. That still bothers me to this day, by the way. Hopefully, at some point, I find that card. But so I do have one of my hero decks sleeved, but the rest I don't sleeve, and I play that game all the time. So I'm not a sleever. But yes, there are a bazillion cards in this game. That is for sure. So when you're looking through to level up, it's not going to be as fast as what I showed you for sure. You have to look through for every one of those cards. But they are, as long as you organize them well at the beginning, it shouldn't take that long. But anyway, we've digressed enough from gameplay. Let's get back to it. We are on to our wizard here, and let's see what the wizard's going to do. Wizard's going to do some fancy-dancy stuff. The wizard gets to teleport, exchange positions with another hero in range with up to 8 range. So, going to do that first. And that is a yellow action, so that means it's free. So, we're going to go ahead and exchange positions here. There we go. Then, we're going to shoot a fireball at range 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't do that. So, I'm going to discard a basic attack. Remember, you can always do this to make... Oh... No point in doing that, is there? All right, never mind. So I am going to do a fireball against this wraith right here. So fireball is range 1 to 4. And remember, it is an area of effect spell. So what that means is it's going to hit this space and all the adjacent. I don't know if it's adjacent because it doesn't tell you. All the spaces around it. All right, so that uses a blue dice. Now remember, though, I got this dice ability, Wild Magic. Whenever you make an AoE attack, also roll a black dice. So I also get a black dice. I need to get 4 hits on this. Am I going to... You know what? The wizard's not doing anything else. They're going to use their adrenaline rush. God, that seems excessive. Nope. Boom. Yeah, that's more than 4. All right, so this wraith... Oh! Well, that was stupid, wasn't it? That didn't help anybody. What the heck was I thinking there? That was crazy. All right, I'm not doing that. We are all now dumber for seeing that. Why would I do that? Nope, not doing that. I'll reroll whatever I do. Yeah, that was crazy. All right, no, I need to hit these guys, but I don't have it. So all I got is 2 fireballs and a basic attack. So I'm just going to discard 2 to move 2. And we'll leave it at that for now. Yes, I left my rogue in the back. So again, each card you discard, you move for half. My wizard's movement, basic movement's 3, but you always round down in this game. So, oh, at the end of my turn, he could have gone up 1 space. So that would have made a difference, actually. So that would be 1 more for my wizard. And it would have still been in range. I probably would have been able to attack this one with that 1 extra space of range. I definitely would have. In fact, I would have been here. So that's what I'm going to do. Move up. Sorry, forget all this stuff. See, I wouldn't do this if I wasn't in chat. Sorry about that. There's a lot going on. I forgot nimble at the end of your turn. You can move an additional square. So my thief would have been up 1 square to here. That's still within 8 range here. When I teleported, I would have teleported here. Use any basic card to move up 1 space. And then again, it's corner to corner. As long as you can see, then I'll do the attack on there, on this goblin. So that is a blue dice again for the fireball. Just as a reminder. So I use the basic attack to move 1 space. Now I'm in range of this goblin and in line of sight. So I got a fireball, which is a blue dice. And I've got this special ability here, wild magic. Whenever you make an AoE attack, roll an additional black dice. So that's going to hit all these spaces here, and boom, boom, boom. Let me see you say filleted goblin. Goblin. Alrighty, so that is that. That is the end of that activation. Alright, so that was my wizard. Let's move on to the warrior. I got a rock toss, a basic move, a basic attack. Alright, I'm going to discard a basic attack to get rid of this slowed condition. Forget that noise. Now, I am going to make a basic move. I move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And since I didn't move the Wraith there, because I am not going to be stupid, then I am out of range of all of them at this point, I think. All right, let's see. I did see some thing. P4 N9 says, got a split. Y'all have fun. I'll watch this one tomorrow. Good luck. Thank you, P4 N9. I appreciate you joining us for the stream. And yeah, if you want to let us know your real name or whatever name you'd like us to call you, unless you really want us to call you P4N9, then let us know. And, you know, when you're joining one of our other streams, and we'll call you that. So anyway, thanks for joining us. Let's keep going. So I am done with all my actions. The enemy does get to activate. They are going to Sword and Sin. Every Wraith moves and makes a basic attack. So remember, they go 1, 2, 3. And then if they are within 1 range of somebody else, they will move. They are not. He's going to move 1, 2, 3, always toward the child bearer, not within 1 range of anybody. This one's going to go, wait, why'd you get by me? And this one's going to go 1, 2, 3. And again, not within range 1 of anybody. That's it for the Wraiths. So next turn, the enemy is going to go first. Even though I made them go last this turn, they're going to go first. I'm going to have 2 heroes in between. And again, this one, we don't do anything between levels. Oh, Beneclee said, you did forget about me, or did I just miss it? Beneclee, you're right. There was so much other chat I did forget about you. I apologize. So your question was, how does difficulty curve / scaling compare to Gloomhaven? Way easier than Gloomhaven. Difficulty's not close. But, I mean, I don't think that's what you're playing this one for. Don't get me wrong. I think difficulty is important. It probably leans on the easier side if you don't jump ahead. If you saw at the end of that first mission, there was a skull. I didn't have to do that town leveling stuff, right? I got myself a key. I got the encrypted note. I could have gone straight into this fight. Now, in this situation, it might not have made that much of a difference, but maybe I would have had a random encounter card before I got here, which would have potentially taken me down a couple pegs. So there are definitely reasons or things that could make this more difficult. Of course, my warriors last. Well, not for long because of the scout ability. There are things that can make this game harder, but I think it does lean on the easy side for the most part. Although, I'll tell you, the first time I played it, I lost pretty bad. So I'm not sure why it's seeming easier now. I think one thing I did forget, which is easy to forget, I think, is these star symbols. Like, I didn't realize until recently that teleport was a star, which means it's a free action. So I was like, oh, that's a terrible card. Usually I'd rather just move. But being able to teleport as a free action, an additional action to your turn, same with some of these healing cards. So I think there are some things that are easy to miss your first couple plays. So I do think it scales on the easier side than Gloomhaven. But at the same time, in a campaign, I want it to be that way. And certainly the first couple of missions are easier. I know later I got into fights, and it warns you ahead of time. There are actually 2 skulls next to some fights. It's like, really, no, you're not ready for this yet. But if you choose to do it at that point, the difficulty can be very high. And I've definitely lost missions. And I think a lot of times, like, you're not meant to get the secondary objective. Like, if you want to increase the challenge level, for myself, right? I'm going to get to the end, probably at the end of this turn, maybe next turn, worst case scenario. But if I really wanted to get both of these characters up there as well and get the bonus, it's going to be really hard to do. And I think they designed the missions that way, almost like you're going to beat it if you want, but if you really want to challenge yourself, try to beat it with the bonuses as well. Now, in this case, I don't think it's that big a deal. I actually think I could beat it with the bonuses, but it's going to take a while. I mean, this character is very far away, right? Like, it's going to be several turns before I can get there. So, with that being said, I'm going to discard my basic attack. Let's draw 3 for them. Yeah, I got 1 basic move, and I got 3 healing prayers in my hand. So, they're not catching up anytime soon, because their basic move is 1. Now, you could have characters. My hero, or this guy's got a rock toss and a basic attack. I'm going to get rid of the basic attack. I got a sidestep, which again is a free basic move, right? Which is great. But it also, if an enemy moves adjacent to me, I can make a basic move right then and there. So if these wraiths had caught me, I can get out of the way. But half his movement is 2. So I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2. Yeah, I'll get there by the end of the turn. Even if I get caught by this one and have to move half or move 1, I discard a card to get rid of that condition, and then I can still do sidestep as a free move and any other card. So I'm still going to get out this turn if I want, but to increase the challenge if I wanted, I can not do that, right? I don't have to run to the end. I can wait for my friends. I can do more fighting. So you can scale the difficulty how you want, but I kind of like it when they do it that way. And I know for the new one, for the expansion, they definitely seem to be ramping it up. And they also have expert bosses. So they have like a normal mode and an expert mode. But you can always increase hit points or whatever else too. So there are ways to make things more difficult. I think that's always the case. I'm going to hold on to this fireball with my wizard. I did get a basic move. Let's shuffle up and see. So Ben Akleef, I hope that answered your question. I did not mean to skip you. I apologize. I know you're one of our you're one of our loyal viewers, and you're always in the chat. So I appreciate you being patient with me today. And again, this is all new for me. I never ever thought I would be playing a live game streamed this way. I did not think it was in the cards for me. I didn't want to do it. It was not my plan to do this. I don't have a second camera, so I'm using my normal webcam held up by something that shouldn't be holding it up to do this. So I apologize if there's any shakiness or if anything else is going on. This is definitely a first attempt for me. So please, in the comments, let me know what you think. Either live here today or in the comments down the road. I'll watch them for sure. I know it doesn't zoom in well. This is not the best camera. Look, I bought a $40 camera off of Amazon. I bought it with a microphone thinking it might be good. It's terrible. I don't use that mic at all. So I really should have bought a better quality camera. Actually, my last one was HD, but it died. This one I didn't pay attention. It wasn't HD. I realized later. So maybe I invest in another camera down the road. But for now, this is what I have. I wanted to put this play up for you guys today. All right. So enemy's going to activate first. Bells of Doom. Every wraith moves and makes a basic attack. Every goblin harasser moves. The goblin champion moves and makes a basic attack. If he can't use the net, they will. All right. So let's move race. 1, 2, 3. All right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Hey, he's back to his home space. Hey, this one over here. 1, 2, 3. And cannot get in range, so won't make that extra move. So now we worry about him. I think he only moves 1. Is that right? No, moves 3, attacks at range 1. Oh, I've been doing that wrong. I had him attack it. Oh, no. But his thing attacks at range 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he moves 1, and that's going to attack at range 4. So we're good. I should have moved further on turn 1, so he would have been a little bit down this way. I apologize for that. I got his range and his movement confused, but that's all right. Range 4 does 1 point of damage and chains me. So I am down to 7 life, and I got the boot chains on. Slowed, I think it's called. All right, so I am done with that, and now it is my cleric's turn. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Basic move. 1, 2, 3. I'll discard a healing prayer to move 1. And that is it for my cleric. Let's see what my wizard does. My wizard wants to blow some stuff up. So my wizard's going to make a basic move, which is range 3. 1, 2, 3. And I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, fireball! Fireball. Do 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 do. All right, so fireball. Several things are going on with this fireball. Let me find it. Where did I put it? Ah, there it is. So I get a blue dice. I get a black dice because of wild magic. And I'm going to discard my adrenaline rush. Once a game, add a red dice to an attack. Boom. This is a fireball. Do 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 do. That's terrible. That's terrible. What's wrong with you? 6, 7 damage. How much life does this one have? 10. Again, I'm just going to put the life tokens. You know what? 2 3s and a 1 is as good as a 5 and 2 1s, right? I'll just put the life tokens right on them. Hobgoblin Champion, bleeding, but not dead yet. Alright, so that is the wizard's action. And we are going to move on to my fighter. Fighter is going to discard a rock toss. Although I could rock toss and kill that. You know what? Maybe I do that. Do I extend this? How much damage do these wraiths do? They only do black dice. I'll be fine, right? I got 7 life left. All right, never mind. I'm going to discard a rock toss to get rid of these chain boots. Then I'm going to sidestep, which is a basic move, but it is a free basic move. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to discard any card, which would be quick shots in this scenario, to move an extra 2 spaces. I just got to be in these last 2 rows. That means I have defeated this scenario. Boom, boom, boom. Sabenacleave says, no problem. Thanks for all the comparisons. Sounds like a good system for difficulty scaling. FYI, apparently P4 and 9 goes by Pang. Pang says TTS didn't like. Nice. I appreciate that. You know, sometimes the most obvious things aren't obvious when you're trying to stream and talk and play and do all these things at the same time. I guarantee, with all that being said, my disclaimer for this mission, as always, or for these streams as always is, if I mess something up, I apologize. I will try to put in Klingon subtitles, so that way, if you turn on those, people will catch it. But at the same time, like, it is a live play. I'm going to miss some stuff. So I apologize for that. But let's get to the fun part. And not that the gameplay isn't fun. I love gameplay. But this part is never frustrating for me, which is the leveling part. All right, so resolution. We got success and not success plus. If the child bearer reaches the safe zone. So partial success. You escape the clutches of the goblins and race. They have cut off your path home, and you have no choice but to proceed to the capital city of Boreon. All heroes advance 1 level. Well, let's do that, shall we? And I didn't get the rest of this stuff, so I'm going to do the rest off screen. It's like receive the child of destiny, heroes, you know, if you want to figure out what else is going on, you can do that on your own. I'm interested in the leveling up part, so we're going to do that. All right. So at the bottom of these cards, and again, I don't know if the clarity is good enough for you to see it, but this monk card says you need to be a cleric 1, rogue 1. So it tells you not only in the back of the book, but on the monk card itself. So this is a monk level 1. So I get plus 4 hit points. So my normal hit points were 8 plus 3, 11. So I'm up to 15 for my monk. He gets Whirlwind as a class feature. I'm sorry, she. Let's get this right. So first of all, you replace your character card with this one. So now my range is 1. My move is 5. That would have been nice for last mission. And instead of attacking with a white dice, I attack with a red dice. So I don't have that 1 to 3 range anymore. I only have 1 range. Now you're not going back to your basic class. But if I do get a different elite class, I can take that character, or I would have to take that as my main class. And then if I level back to like level 2 monk later on, then I would come back to being the monk class. So whatever elite class you've leveled up to last becomes your class. So class feature, I get Whirlwind, and my passive, I get Combo. Combo! So let's see what these cards are. Let's see. So Whirlwind, make basic attacks against all enemies in range. So that seems good, although again, range 1 not great. But remember, I can change to a ranged class, and I can do Whirlwind and attack a bunch of stuff. And combo! Once per turn, when you make a basic attack, make another basic attack. And it does not say against somebody else. So very monk-like, lots of different attacky attacks. Now, I only have 3 spots over here. If I get more passive abilities, I'd have to get rid of some. Probably Guidance, because I haven't used that literally ever. Alright, so Gladiator. Gladiator is my warrior class. So let's see how many hit points I had originally. I had 10 plus 3. So 10 plus 3 for my tough. Now if I get rid of tough, I don't get those 3, right, for the next mission. So I get plus 4 hit points. So I'm up to 17 at least for this next mission. So my class feature is challenge, and my dice is critical hits. So first of all, I get a new character. I go from a red dice to a blue dice, and my range actually increases to 1 to 2, and my move increases to 5. So that seems pretty good. And then my class feature is challenge. And again, I could start with these as my starting class features, or I could start with any of the class features I've had from the past. This is mark 1 enemy as a chosen foe or draw a card. And critical hits, I assume this dice tells me what this chosen foe means. And it does. Whenever you attack your chosen foe, roll an additional red dice. You may only have 1 chosen foe active at a time. So again, this is a free action to mark somebody, but I can only do it when this card is available to me. So if I start with it as my class feature, I can do it. But otherwise, I'll have to save up for this. This is range 1 to 3. So that's kind of neat. I can mark somebody and then do extra red dice to them, which is really good. Again, most of the time you're only facing 1 boss. You're not having wraiths and goblins and stuff. It's funny that the first couple missions are that way, because the rest of the campaign really isn't. It's a lot of one-off boss fights. In fact, if you watch Colin's playthrough on the main channel from like 4 months ago, he fought against one of the bad people in the game, and they had 2 griffins with them. And so, yes, there were 2 enemies in that one, also, or 3 enemies, but typically it's 1 main boss that you're trying to kill. So this is really good to be able to challenge that main boss. So again, this card goes in my deck, or I can start with it as my class feature, and now I get a dice ability over here as well. Oh, the other thing to pay attention to. Gladiator does allow me to add or subtract a basic attack or basic move, as does Monk. That plus or minus there, that's what that means. So for those classes, I'm going to see what I want to do there. But let's get to the one we've all been waiting for, the Necromancer. So Necromancer attacks with a black and a white dice, range 1 to 4. Still 3 moves, so still a wheezy wizard. But let's see. Again, wizard level 2 is required. Only plus 2 hit points again. So I have 6 plus 2 plus 2. I am up to, well, at least I'm up to 10, right? I am up to 10. I need another green cube. I'll get that in a little bit. So, class feature, Summon Skeleton, passive, Drain Life. And I do get to add or subtract a card. So, let's see. Necromancer, Life Drain. When you make a basic attack, you may heal 1 hit point. That helps a little bit. Not a lot, so I don't want to get rid of basic attacks, obviously. So, summon a skeleton in an unoccupied square within range 5. Limit one active skeleton. Now, I think later on, as you level this up, you are going to get more and more skeletons, but at least to start, you only start with 1. And I had the skeleton mini. I brought it in, I thought, but I can't find it right now, so it might have fallen down. But here it is. So they have 4 life. They attack with a black dice at range 1. They move 3. So this is another ally to help you out. Every time you get this card, you can use it to summon a skeleton, which will be another minion on the board. So something else the enemies will attack, as well as something that helps you out. Only 4 life though. But that's pretty neat. Pretty neat. So again, this is a class feature. You could start with it out, so you could summon that skeleton right away on turn 1. And as you can see, everything explains itself. There's literally nothing that's like complicated here, but at the same time, you're doing complex combinations and stuff like that just by playing 2 cards a turn. Again, if I have a weapon, it counts just like every other card. It counts like a class feature. It counts like a weapon, armor, accessories. They're all done the same way. They all are just cards that count as part of your 4-card hand, but you can play them. On your turn, if you don't want to play all your cards, I forgot to do this a couple times. If you draw your class feature later, let's say I played this class feature as one of my 2 cards at one point, I could later, if I had a class feature in my hand, instead of using it right away to make that basic move, I can prepare it. So I use 1 action to do that, and now I can use it later on to use it as a class action again. Again, if I use this harpoon, later on I have 1 action I want to do, but the other one I'm not sure, I can prepare this again. And again, it just counts as a card. So one of my 2 actions, I do this. My second of 2 actions, I do this, which is a free action. Then I can play a card from my hand. Doesn't matter. So you're playing 2 cards in as many free actions as you want to turn. Real easy, real straightforward. But as you can see, the leveling is so cool. I mean, you want to talk about options. I mean, you've got all these classes. I would buy the Hero Pack 1 because there's 4 new advanced classes. The expansion's coming out with a new basic hero. I think it's an alchemist. So that'll be a 6th basic hero. There are 5 right now. That'll be a 6th one, and more elite classes that work with that as well. So, I don't know. I love this game. You could probably tell my enthusiasm from playing it. Now, to put it away, do I have to remember my health and all that? No, because all I do is I pull out my cards. You put all these cards in 1 box. I have 1 elite class, that's Gladiator. You know, I could even put all the cards away for my main characters and just remember I am a Gladiator right now. So I just put this one in the box. I could put this one, you know, back in the sleeve where it would go otherwise. I keep all my cards together, whatever cards I decide to use. And like when I make my character, I'm like, okay, I got 3, 7, that's 10, 14 life. Oh, I have tough 2, that's, you know, 17 life. You know, you don't have to memorize anything. You put it away. What I tend to do is leave the book on the page I'm on. So after I'm done this, I'm going to read through this and I'm going to say continue story, go to page 6, or go to 6 on page 13. I would just leave it on 13, ready for next time I go. You know, maybe even put a sticky there or something. Or you could write on a piece of paper, you know, go to 6 on page 13. Whatever you want to do to let you know where you have to continue the story. It's not hard to store. It's not hard to keep track of all that stuff. Like I said, not every rule is the most clear rule in the world. That's my biggest negative with the game. But beside that, it's super fun to play, super fun to level up. If you don't believe me, you know, you can ask Colin on our Discord. So Discord is, you know, if you don't know, it's just like a chat place. It's totally free. Like the links are in every video we do. So you can talk to us on the Discord. Trust me, for people who are out there who are in our Discord, you know, we're on there all the time answering questions, doing whatever else. So, you know, it is the best place to talk to us about stuff. So talk to Colin. Barrett seemed to like it too. He's like, oh, I'm glad you're playing Adventure Tactics. You know, this is a game that just makes people happy. It's great to play with your kids, but I really do. I would play this with adults at any time. I'm having fun going through the campaign. If I want to ramp up the difficulty, I'll do it. So not a problem. I'm having fun. Like I said, I wish they got a better editor. To me, all right, so some final thoughts here. To me, it's unexcusable that the TTS mod is as bad as it is. If it's as bad as it is, don't put it out there. Don't show it to people. Don't make it like what you're showing off the game with. The mod itself isn't bad. There's no scripting, which is not the worst thing in the world, but it doesn't have the current rules. Like, it literally has old life values and stuff like that. Like, if you're not going to update it, if you're not going to put anything new in it, if you're not going to make it playable by me, who is someone who's on TTS all the time, who designs games and plays my own games, so I know how hard it is to do that stuff, but it's hard to find things in it. It's hard to, I don't know. For me, it's not good. Other people might disagree, but I did not like the mod. Honestly, I almost canceled the play tonight because of it. And again, you could tell this is a game I love, but I almost didn't play because the mod was not up to my standards. And it's just, here's the problem. Your first impressions you give to people last. And so for me, that is a major misstep. Just don't have a TTS mod. I don't know if they thought they needed it or what. I don't know why they have that. Not only that, but there are things like these goblin minions in the cards themselves are wrong. Now, second edition, they're not going to be wrong. But they're called something different in the cards. Maybe not these, but the other ones. No, here it says goblin minions. But it's like, in the other one, it says goblin merchants, or I forget what it is, but in one of these decks of cards, in one of the bosses, they're misnamed, and it's in the first mission. If you do the first mission I did tonight, you're not going to have a problem. You do the other first mission, they're misnamed, right? And GM, they have on these, but they have them also on, I believe, the gargoyles from the mission Colin did. I mean, why would you not have everything else has unique identifiers? Literally, GM is duplicated. That had to be a mistake, right? They couldn't have done that on purpose. I mean, you could tell them apart, right? These look like goblins, the other one look like gargoyles, but everything has a unique name. Like, it's little mistakes like that worried me a little bit, and honestly, they turned Mike off completely. So Mike is not as on board with this game as I am, because of those little things bothered him so much. For me, they bothered me that much in Mice and Mystics. They bothered me that much in Aftermath that I won't play those games. There was another one that Plaid Hat did that. And I love Plaid Hat. By the way, Summoner Wars, one of my favorite games of all time. So it bothers me when they make mistakes like that. And again, this one I think did too. Not everything was combed through as it should be. Look, I get it. It's a small publisher. You only have so many sets of eyes. Hopefully they fix it. The thing that scares me is I didn't see the rulebook any different. The rulebook they posted online is no different than the one I have. Now, they said they're going to have updated rulebooks and stuff like that, but even there's an FAQ that's out, and it doesn't answer all the questions. What does adjacent mean? What does it mean when you're moving? Do you move, like if there's a range character, it says move till you're within range of the closest character. Well, is the closest character closest in a straight line or closest like this way? Like this character is, if he's here, 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces away. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 if you're talking range. But if you're talking movement, it's 1, 2. Like if he starts moving this way, then he'll never get to either character. Whereas if he moves this way, he would get to range. So it doesn't answer questions like that. And you made an FAQ. You realized you made some mistakes. I get it. But like, that's the only thing that scares me off a little bit even about this game is they made little mistakes and they haven't corrected them yet. And that bothers me because they're not hard things to correct. And I mention them all. If you just listen to my podcast episode on this, I mention them all, and so does Mike. So, I don't know, look up Adventure Tactics. I forget when we did it, but One Stop Co-op Shop Podcast, Adventure Tactics, like, we talked about these things. They're out there. They're in public domain. I asked questions on BGG about them. These are things that are fixable. I wish they would fix them, and I'm not 100% confident that they will. So that's the only thing that scares me. But again, if little niggly stuff like that doesn't bother you, if you don't mind, like, okay, we're going to play it this way, it's fine. I think it's the kind of game you can play that way. But at the same time, I don't see why you wouldn't make your rules as clear as possible. Like, that, especially when people point them out, and it's not a lot of flaws, but it's enough to pull you out a little bit. And so that bothers me. With all that being said, you've heard me talk so favorably about this game, and for good reason. So I'm going to read, see if there's any final comments, any final questions, but then we'll get out of here. Thanks for joining us. Let's see. A lot from Benecleef. Yeah, can't read most of the game text on camera. Seeing your face would make the stream feel more interactive. At least for us regulars, we know what your face looks like, and that helps. It is me, I promise you. I'm over here. Hello. I don't know if I can... Hello. I was at a mic moment where you just saw the top of my head, my eyeballs or whatever. I tried to make it in there. But let's see. If you start expecting a lot of new people, perhaps putting up a pic of your smiling face would help so that they know what you look like. Yes. Well, hopefully that camera work did it. If not, I can pull my camera off. I mean, literally, I just threw this together today. Like I said, I was planning on playing Tabletop Simulator. Lots of laughs. Speaking of which, I still don't know what Mike looks like. Wait, what? Mike, you go to One Stop Co-op Shop, not streamed, but the main One Stop Co-op Shop YouTube channel. So it's just One Stop Co-op Shop on YouTube. We're One Stop Co-op Shop streamed. If you go to One Stop Co-op Shop, watch any 5 and 5 review, that's what Mike looks like. He is on all the videos. But yes, you won't see him here on streamed because his internet connection's so bad that like he'll just glitch out every time. Benecleef also says, I'm thinking about 7 minutes behind your stream, just FYI. Apologies if you make my comments super late. Nope, you're good. Benecleef says, this seems like a really cool game. 2 questions. 1, multiplayer co-op. Yes. I mean, it plays up to 5. And everybody would just control one character. I don't think it's too little. In fact, obviously, as you saw, it wasn't that hard to control multiple characters. But I would have preferred not to, if that makes any sense. Actually, you know what? Let me see what I can do with this camera. Let's see if I can turn it on me. God, you guys are going to see my messy game room. But I think that's okay. Let's see. Can we get this on me? So my game room is not really that messy, but because I had to do so much to put this room together, to do this play today, it looks messy. So my table's not in its normal spot. My game room's all over the place. So I apologize for that. But at least you get to see my face now. So I got that fixed, hopefully. All right, so let's see. So multiplayer co-op, yes, really good. Kickstarter only, or will it be available via general retail? I don't know the answer to that question. I do believe, actually, it is available in retail right now. So if you wanted to get the base game, you can. They have a $10 upgrade pack, which I would do because, again, if they fix all the little stuff, that would make this game so much better. And I'm hoping against hope that that is what they decide to do. So I apologize. Like, the lighting in here isn't great. Actually, the best light is behind me because normally I sit on the other side of the room. The shelf you normally see behind me is over here. So I put my good lighting over here. I am literally up against my shelves on this side of the room. So I apologize for that. Josh Hunter says, looks like episode 185 had the adventure tactics discussion. Josh, thank you so much. That is helpful. So episode 185 of the podcast. Again, One Stop Co-op Shop. If it's your first time joining us, One Stop Co-op Shop streamed, One Stop Co-op Shop main YouTube channel, One Stop Co-op Shop podcast. Do we have anything else? We have our Discord at One Stop Co-op Shop. So Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff. Like, if you want to talk to us, you'll find us. And all of that is in the comment show notes. Dave B says, confirmed, not Mike. Yes, I'm definitely not Mike. So, yeah, I definitely know how to do the camera. At least I know how to look and see if my camera is showing my face correctly. Unfortunately, just don't have enough good lighting from this side, so I'm a little dark today. But that's okay. I hope you guys enjoyed this play. I know I enjoyed playing this. I'm going to keep enjoying playing it. My goal is to never stream like this again on the table. I'm sure it will happen at some point, but I much prefer Tabletop Simulator for streaming. It just makes my life so much easier. I think it makes seeing things so much easier. Again, I need a better webcam. And who knows? Patreon supporters are very generous. I could buy another one, but I also feel like that's wasting money to buy a second webcam so soon after I bought the first one. So we'll see. Maybe I get an HD webcam that I can use for the table, and then I keep this one to shine on my face so you can see me during the plays still. I don't know. But I really don't like having to do all this. I also need to get better lighting. I noticed there was a lot of glare when I tried to set it up. That's why I ended up in this corner of the room. There wasn't glare here. So I'm learning. But if you have any feedback for me, please. I'd love to hear it. What did you think of this top-down view? Again, I'll probably never do it again, but I do like, when I like seeing the board, I like seeing it laid out in front of me. I like seeing the stuff moving around. I hate, like, when it's way back and you just see the people and they tell you what cards they're playing. I guess I was kind of doing that too because you couldn't see because my camera's not good enough, but I hate plays like that. I really want to see what's going on, even if I can't read the cards per se. Let's see if there's anything else. Okay, I don't see any other comments. So it has been 2.5 hours. We played 2 missions. We leveled up twice in that 2.5 hours, and we had a good chat. So I don't know. You see, it's maybe 30 minutes per mission and maybe 15 to 20 minutes in between missions. So you're talking about an hour to play a mission and level yourself up. And trust me, after you level yourself up like I do right now, I want to play again right away because I want to play with my Necromancer, Monk, and Gladiator. And you think, oh, you've made your elite class now, so that's it. No, I can get another elite class, or I can level up within that class. I don't know what a monk level 2 looks like, what their skills do. I literally picked 3 different classes than any other time I played through the campaign. And there's plenty of gameplay to go. There's plenty of bosses still to fight. So, and as you see, there's a lot of forking too, so you don't have to do things in the same order. You can skip ahead if you want to challenge yourself. There's always kind of options, and they give you the skull. They're like, you're probably not ready for this, but go ahead and do it if you want. You can give yourself more or less revive potions. There's enough luck in the dice rolling and stuff too that some missions are just going to go harder than others. So a lot of good things to like about the game. Like I said, I love it. I'm all in on it. Did it win my game of the year last year? I don't know, but it had to be up there. I like this one a lot. But yeah, it would have been probably my game of the year if it had made those changes. You know, if they just fixed the little things that distract you from the game. So I like this game a lot. I want it to go from good to great, or great to exceptional is really where it is, because it's great in my mind right now. I want it to go to exceptional and fixing those things, and that's why I bought the upgrade pack from one. I'm hoping they're listening, if not to me here, to playtest. I hope someone is giving them this advice and they're listening, because this game can be exceptional. It's already great. So anyway, that's it for me tonight. I don't think there's any. I lied. More people have commented. Dave B, you can put together light diffusers pretty easily, but yeah, multiple cameras off the bat is a good way to go. Yeah, I don't have multiple cameras. I mean, again, I've never had to stream on my table, so I don't even own a second cam. I think you can use your phone for it, but I wasn't going to try to figure that out. Again, I was planning on doing TTS up till 5 o'clock today when I got home from work. I just got on the mod to see how it worked, and I was like, oh gosh, this is terrible. Like, I've already signed myself up to do this tonight. I want to play tonight, so I found a way to make it work, but I almost canceled the stream. Benecleef says, great stream as always. Thanks, Peter. Thank you, Benecleef. Appreciate the feedback. Dave B says, I keep thinking I should set my own gear up and stream physical games, but just thinking about it is exhausting. Yeah, it is exhausting, and you have to like to talk. I think you've seen that while you guys were here watching for 2 hours, I was here talking for 2 hours. So it can be exhausting on this end, and so talking for two and a half straight hours, trying to keep track of what's going on the board, and trying to be entertaining at least a little bit at the same time. Now, I mean, I laugh a little bit because I end up singing songs and doing other things, but I do that when I play solo anyway. So that comes kind of naturally to me, but if it doesn't, then it's hard. And keeping track and talking to the chat while still making sure the gameplay is interesting and all that, it's a lot. But I enjoy doing it. That's why I am doing it. It's not like I'm getting paid for this. Yeah, I've got some equipment and maybe a couple of games out of it, but trust me, this is way more work than the money you get out of it. You have to do it for the love of doing it, and I love playing games. Whenever I do, I stream. But again, TTS streams are way easier for me. That's why you will almost always see those out of me. Steve has a whole setup. He's got a thing where he slides his card under it, and it shows it on the screen with a green screen. He loves that kind of stuff. For me, once I set it up, if somebody set it up for me, I would absolutely stream that way, and I would have no problem with it. I do prefer physically playing games, but the other benefit of TTS, and part of the reason we did this stream channel, is so we can play with each other. We could play across long distances. I can play with Colin. I could play with Barrett. I could play with Steve. I can play with Terrence, right? And you guys can see that interaction. You see me and Mike and Jerry playing Saturday nights. You wouldn't get to see that. I couldn't set up a table or camera to make all that work. So part of the reason we do TTS, number one, I think it's a lot clearer and easier to see things with most mods. But the other reason is it lets us play across great distances together. And I think that's important, especially during this COVID times and all that. Like, it's just nice to get together. The reason I haven't been streaming every Saturday anymore is because Mike, Jerry, and I get together every other Saturday live. So we're enjoying playing live. But again, I don't think that's ever going to get streamed. It would just be too much. Maybe one day if I get my stuff together, we could do it. But for now, I hope you're enjoying the streams we do have. We try to do as much content as possible. So, all right. No more comments in the chat. There are no more comments in the chat. I'm not cutting any off. So thank you all for joining us. Thanks for being here. I hope you enjoyed this play, and we'll do it again soon. I'm playing Marvel Champions on Friday, so thanks again. Bye.